Hey y'all, Sunshine here, Mind of Monsters. Welcome in. So we're going to discuss the mysterious case of Riley Strain tonight. We do have a special guest here with us again tonight. MomsterMini is going to join us for the discussion. Thank you so much for everybody popping in. I'm going to go ahead and run through chat real quick. We got Chopper, our newest wrench in the house. We got Mecky, our OG wrench. Thank you, Mecky. Sarah, welcome in from the UK. Welcome in, everybody lurking in the bushes. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. Help share out the channel. Thank you so much. And we're going to go ahead and bring our panel guest on panel. You're muted.
Sorry, I wasn't ready yet.
You wasn't ready. Okay, so we got a Chopper. Hello. Welcome in. Thank you for coming in. So we're going to start out with a couple of different things. I know that there's been some chatter around the streets, being Twitter and mainstream media, that there's been some new information developed. Sarah says hello. DZ, welcome in, love. PA Mimi, welcome in. Thank you so
Eating
much for
pizza
being
and
here.
watching. I see eating pizza.
So, guys, this case. We know Riley went missing, was missing for 2 weeks. Mini Monster was in Nashville and got to talk to some locals and hand out some flyers and show Riley's face and stop and talk to some people. And then we experienced the live action getting pinned in by fire trucks for the gentleman that fell in the river and was rescued by the United Cajun Navy. Welcome in. Hello, Yankee Traveler. Linda Hudson, thank you so much for being here. Hello, guys. Thank you all for being here with us tonight. So I've got a couple of things queued up here that we're going to start out with. I believe we are going to start out with those of y'all that haven't heard it. The 911 call has been released when Riley's body was found. So if you guys follow me on social media, or if you were following me throughout this case, I did make it known that I am from a river city. I'm from Paducah, Kentucky, and towboaters and river workers are a part of life. In a private conversation, I will not release that private conversation, but I will let you guys know. I did have a private conversation with SF Investigates Steve, and I explained to him that, in my opinion and my feelings, and just knowing the river, Riley would more than likely be found by a river worker. And lo and behold, welcome in, Diane. Thank you so much for being here. That he would be found by a river worker. So we're going to listen to the clip from the 911 call. I'm going to go ahead and pull this up on Twitter. Those of you guys that are OGs here know that I love my Twitter. So big shout out to Burton Staggs. He has been amazing updating any information on Riley's case. So we're going to listen to this 911 call, guys.
And what happened?
My company.
And what happened?
My company works on the river. I have just found a dead body. I believe it to be Riley.
Okay. And you said you guys found a dead body?
Yes, ma'am, in the river.
And what happened?
My company works on the river.
That was the short clip. I thought I had the other clip queued up, but that apparently was the short clip.
Hold on.
That is
What
I meant to share.
We could go back.
What is it?
Can we pull that and just listen to that one more time?
Yeah, I thought I had the long clip queued up. Let me see if I can find the long clip. I'm so sorry about that, guys. I'm usually on top of this. So my apologies for not having the full clip. Yeah, that's not the clip I was looking for. I'm so sorry about that. You guys are getting a peep at my, well, I thought I had it queued up. We'll listen to that short one again because I want to move on. The remainder of that clip was describing.
And what happened?
My company works on the river. I have just found a dead body. I believe it to be Riley.
Okay. And you said you guys found a dead body?
Yes, ma'am, in the river.
And what happened?
Okay, so
My
he goes on to say that he's pretty sure it's Riley, and that he describes the shirt Riley had on, says it's human hair, and that he's pretty sure that that's who it is. And this was a river worker, guys. This was what I
Yeah.
was.
You can kind of hear the anxiety in his voice too.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I wish I
it's
could
got
find the full clip. It may have
just
gotten
from
taken down. Kind of
I wasn't
frustrating.
trying to be like morbid about it and playing it back, but you could just to kind of notice the panic in his voice. Just he's like, oh my, that man, that poor whoever that guy is. I'm so sorry you had to wake up and go through that. I mean,
Yeah, I'm
unfortunately,
so
things
sorry about that.
happen. But dude, like you don't expect being somebody that works on the water, you don't expect to wake. Yeah, you get that training like we talked about in the last video, but you don't expect to wake up and it actually be that day that it happens. You know what I'm saying? No different
Right.
than
Absolutely.
yeah,
Like my heart goes out to
Are
all
you
the
the one
river
I sent
workers.
me to school for colon cancer?
So this is
Was
going to
that
play an
after?
ad, and we don't do ads around here. So this is the full clip, guys. I'm sorry, I grabbed the wrong clip. I keep so much stuff bookmarked on Twitter that sometimes I run. So I do apologize for that. But yeah, I mean, they go through extensive training, and to be able to watch for things like bodies. People fall in the river for all different reasons: fishing, self harm, accidents, towboaters. Okay, so this should be the correct one. It says on Friday, March 22nd, the body of a missing college student, Riley Strain, was found in the Cumberland River. This is a 911 call reporting his body being found. Viewer discretion is advised.
Friday, March 22, 2024, 07:25 and 9 seconds.
911, what's the exact location of your emergency?
Yes, ma'am. I'm at 1740 61st Avenue North, Nashville, Tennessee. I just
61st Avenue North in the nation's office continue.
yes, ma'am.
What happened?
Company works on the river. I have just found a dead body. I believe it to be Riley.
Okay. And you said you guys found the dead body?
Yes, ma'am, in the river. We unload barges at the facility
Where's
and take it from the dock. It's definitely got a person hair, black shirt, kind of like a white, muddy looking on the front. It's face down in the water. Yes, ma'am.
It's a
Caucasian.
It looks like a male.
Yes, ma'am.
yeah.
And that's it. So that is the 911 call.
And
Very.
once again, I just kind of want to draw to the fact that
So that's how he was found, and that's what I said was thank you to all the volunteers. But
he couldn't have handled that any better than how he handled that in his phone call.
Absolutely,
he could not have handled that.
Absolutely, true rock star. I think he did phenomenal, holding himself together and just getting 911 called, making sure that was reported promptly. They found Riley. Heartbreaking. But we're going to start out with the 911 call, and then we are going to move on. We're actually going to take a look at the latest interview that Brian Enton did with Chris Dingman. I'm going to have to bring it back up to share the screen. My comments are disappearing too, guys, so I'll get to chat in just a moment. I appreciate everybody for being here, and thank you for all your patience. For those of you that are OGs here with me, know that My StreamYard is kind of temperamental. Okay, so we're going to start this over.
See, I think, see, Miss Elizabeth drew back to, she said, I've listened to that a few times. Please correct me
Went
if I'm
missing
wrong when they.
during a night out with friends.
I can't hear you. I couldn't hear you.
Am I cutting out?
What?
Am I cutting out?
No, I was playing the video. I couldn't hear what you said.
Oh, I was reading one of the
Can you hear me?
It says, I have listened to that a few
Oh.
times. Please correct me if I am wrong. When they had the release statement, didn't they say he had shirt and wallet? Now they're saying he didn't have a wallet, just a shirt. See, I was under the pretense that I had heard this. Maybe I just assumed it as well. I'm not sure myself. But I was under the pretense that they did find other identify, because they didn't necessarily say other than just the shirt. They said other. If I remember correctly, the police chief put it. Other identifying factors were with him. I thought his watch was with him as well. If other identifying factors would be that, you wouldn't think off the top of my head at least. And once again, my speculation. I may be running off left field with this, but if you're the iPhone, I could understand being lost. Hell, if a wallet fell out of his pocket, I could understand that being lost as well. But from what I understand, dude had an Apple Watch on as well. And where does that go? Was that found? Was that located? I don't know what identifying factors they discussed, because initially they didn't say anything other than just the shirt and other identifying factors, if I remember correctly.
Hey, you're choppy really bad. Your audio's real bad choppy.
Okay.
You may take out that earpiece. Everybody wants to hear what you've got to say, and they're not able to hear you. You're chopping on us. Thank you guys for letting me know, and everybody, thank you for coming in. He really did. Very good
Okay,
respect,
my
and
bad.
it
What
is
I
a
was
tough
trying
call.
to say is
That is so much better.
Okay. My bad. Sorry, this thing. I washed my earbuds in the washer a couple weeks ago, and I for 90% of the time they work, but it's not usually that bad. Sorry about that. No, I was reading one of the comments that said, I listened to this a few times. Correct me if I'm wrong. The release statement, didn't they say they had a shirt and a wallet? And now they are saying he didn't just have his wallet, just a shirt. From what I understand, if I remember watching it correct me if I'm wrong. When the police chief put out the statement that morning, didn't they say that he had his shirt on and other identifying factors with him? Like, they didn't say what identifying factors, but I remember the chief saying other identifying factors. So, in my mind, right, from what I understand, he had an iPhone, he had an Apple Watch, he had a wallet. I can understand losing the wallet and the iPhone, but I can't understand the Apple Watch because an Apple Watch is tied to your wrist. So, were any of
Okay,
those
so
even confirmed?
we're going to pull it up again, and we're going to listen to the press conference, because what I heard in the press conference was his shirt and his watch.
I thought it was
So we'll pull it up and we'll listen to
Or
the.
he said other identifying factors.
Well, that's why we can always pull it back up and watch. Guys, is his audio better? Let me know here. Sarah said that she swore the press conference had his wallet. We'll have to find the press conference and have another listen. I'm gonna pull it up. We're gonna listen to it right here. Tracy Robinson, a woman that was feeding the homeless, interviewed News Nation, was adamant that she saw him wearing Riley's shirt. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute too. Hello, everyone coming in. Thank you, Chopper. You're doing a great job. Let's see. Yeah, they said his boots. Let's see. Sorry, Tracy. It says, yeah, they said his boots, wallet, and jeans were missing. Had boxers, Apple Watch, and socks. Yeah.
Okay.
Karen Lee says, I think the woman who helps feed the homeless said she saw a man with a familiar wearing a shirt that looked like Riley's was wearing. She didn't say it was Riley's. Could be wrong. Yeah, that was the interview she did with Pascal. Big shout out for sharing us out the night that Mini Monster was in Nashville. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. So I'm going to go ahead and play this presser because, it's always a good idea to circle back. Any good investigator likes to circle back to the beginning.
Heart and prayer go out to you all of this very unfortunate and tragic incident. I also want to say thank you to the Nashville community and the Outpoint community of the Outpoint support from the community in trying to help us locate Mr. Strain. I also want to say thank you to our USAR team and to the fire department and OEM and TWRA and everyone else, and including the media, for everything that you've done, for the countless tips that came in. We received nearly 200 tips as of yesterday that we were vetting out. So at this time, the family's been notified. There will be an autopsy, more than likely sometime today, and we'll have a little bit further from that point. So thank you.
Chief, can you tell us, is there any other additional evidence that points you to the theory that it seems like you've been going after for a while now? It's just that he fell into the river, accidentally?
Yeah, there's no other evidence that suggests anything other than we have reports that normally under these circumstances with his height and weight, that he could have surfaced between 14 and 20 days. This is the 14th day, so we were really expecting anytime soon to find him. In fact, our search teams was going to put in the water here this morning and then search from this point further down. So we were in the right spot. It's just unfortunate, but there's nothing to suggest anything other than any foul play at all.
You said that these were crews that were actually looking for him that found him?
Yes, that's so the workers typically on the river, whether it's barge companies, concrete companies, other businesses that actually are on the river, and they look routinely. It's happened countless times before. And as they moved, I believe, a barge, and don't quote me on that, they removed something from the river, and as they moved it, they noticed Mr. Strain, so and called it in.
Typically work on the water. They weren't necessarily search crews.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, thank you all.
Thank you.
Okay, so there was the presser. So his shirt and his watch were confirmed.
So it was a
Okay,
shirt.
Tracy wants to know. Hey, I just know they also say there was no water in his lungs. We're going to watch that as well. We're going to watch the interview with Brian Enton.
Tonight we've learned.
And I hope it'll let me restart it here. It's been acting crazy. Oh, come on. Hang on, guys.
Well, that's what the
Sorry about this.
So Karen Lee said, how could it be determined no foul play when his body was just removed from the river? So odd. So I'm not sure in the process.
Okay.
The coroner had already made an examination statement before that presser was released. Do you know?
You're cutting out really bad. Your audio is cutting in and out. What do you got going on over there?
Trent, I don't know why it's tripping.
You're cutting in and out on me.
Tripping. I don't know why. My phone's charging too. So.
Okay, so no foul play was preliminary. What they base that on? Okay. What they base that on is no wounds from a weapon. And guys, because of YouTube, I have to say pew pew. I apologize ahead of time. I know we're all adults. And no knife wounds. So that's what they're looking for, is wounds from a weapon. And that's a preliminary. When they first found him, pulled him out, the ME's, the ME's on site there. The ME said, we don't see gunshot wounds. We don't see knife wounds. It appears to be no foul play. Now we're going to...
That wouldn't even just so much as be that alone, is like you're also looking for like signs of struggle too, like scratch marks, strangulation marks, stuff like that as well. So no signs of like physical violence occurred, is what they're trying to say there. Either that, or I'm not. Do you know if the coroner had had a examined statement ready for the police department before or after that presser? Like, how did that work?
We've got some information that I'm going to share here. Because right now we're still in the preliminary stage because an autopsy takes time to get it finished and released. So this was a preliminary autopsy that was released by Metro Nashville, and I have queued up Nick Barris, who did an interview. I've got that queued up, and then I have this statement. This was put out by Chris Dingman, the family friend that was the voice for the family during all of this. But that's what they initially, when they pull you out of the water or when they go to a scene, they're looking for those. They're looking for those initial wounds from a weapon. Hello, Lady V. Welcome in.
Don't be offended, but I'm gonna start making a fried egg sandwich. I'm getting hungry.
Okay. That's
For the
fine.
chat, if y'all want to bite, I guess you can have one.
Okay, so let's go back. Here we got James said no water in the lungs, aka not drowning. We're going to get to that as well. So it's called a dry drowning. That's correct, DZ. It's called a dry drowning.
See, but how does that work?
So a dry drowning, the way that works is you have muscles inside your throat. Like you have a little flap. Like I'm not a medical examiner, guys, and I don't have a degree or a PhD or anything like that. There's a little flap in your throat. When you are drowning, that initial panic of the fact that you're underwater and you can't breathe, it causes your heart to go faster. Everything in your body goes faster. It constricts the muscles in your throat and it closes that little flap. Like, you know how I get the knot in my throat from stress? It's kind of the same thing.
A way to keep water from going in there, like your body's like that makes kind of sense.
Yeah, but only 10 to 15% or 10 to 18% of people actually suffer dry drowning. This is not a common thing. It's very uncommon. But it is an actual medical thing.
So it does happen. It's not unheard of.
So Gypsy Witch Queen says the family is waiting for toxicology. They also did a private examination, so a second exam. And those are not cheap. I'm just going to let you guys know from working with families, a second autopsy through a private place is not cheap. You're talking like anywhere from $2,500 to $5,000 to have one of those done. DZ says dry drowning after a person takes in water through their nose or mouth, but not their lungs, causing a spasm that closes the airway. Yeah. So DZ said it a lot better than I did, guys. Karen Lee said, I believe the press conference was within 2 hours or less of bringing the body out of the river. I prefer they say they will thoroughly investigate the death. I do too. I prefer that they do it too. James says he's not Columbo, but no water in the lungs be a massive red flag. I agree. Lady V, I said hello to you. James says,
yeah, but I mean, in the case that it does, what would be the possibility that it happened to Riley as opposed to something being? I'm not ruling out either. I don't want to say one and the other because I don't know. You know.
Okay, so a dry drowning, the best way to look at it is it's like an asphyxiation. It's like suffocating, pretty much.
Yeah, like I could only. Yeah, that would be horrible.
I guess that in layman's terms, I guess it would be more of a suffocation. And when somebody when you are loss of oxygen like that, and this is one thing that I mean, I know this is going to sound really off, guys, but I want to read the autopsy report myself because I want to know what color his fingernails were. And I understand that he was in the river, but they have ways to tell if that blood pooled at his cuticles, which means it was a lack of oxygen. Okay. Tracy Robinson said, it's just odd to me. They had him leave the bar after 1 alcoholic drink, 2 drinks of water. So how that you see him falling and stumbling, walking awkward. So there's some trauma. And again, I'm going with the fact that he hit his head on that pole. We don't know how much they pre-game. Sorry, guys, before they actually got to that bar. So there's that. Like Keith Moon choke on. Yeah, that's a lot of the. From what I've read, dry drowning is not typical. It's not. It's very uncommon. It does happen. I'm not saying that this is a conspiracy theory. You don't need to grab 10 full hats. You can. I mean, if you prefer your 10 full hat, but it does happen. but in a very low percentage. I never heard that. I like to hear new things. Well, I do my best. Didn't Kylie Raleigh have the same thing? Wasn't it said that she had no water in her lungs? I thought Kylie had water in her lungs. I'd have to reread her autopsy report. I'm sorry for not knowing that off the top of my head, Sarah. That's a devastating case as well. But if you fall in the river, you expect to drown. If you fall in that river, it's terrifying. I'm going to have to reread Kylie's autopsy. Kylie didn't. See, I don't remember off the top of my head. Guys, I have so many cases in my head that it's hard to keep up with all the details without my notebook or my notes in front of me. And Allie 0402, thank you so much for coming in. Welcome in. All right, so I'm going to play this with Brian Inton.
River and now.
Why does it keep doing that to us, guys? I am so sorry. I don't know what's going on with my internet.
We're having all kinds of defunks today, aren't we?
Dude, if something doesn't go wrong in a live, it's not alive.
Well, yeah, they're at me lagging. Now we're having social. I got eggs on the stove.
And I'm wired in, so I don't know what's causing it to act weird.
University of Missouri student Riley Strain. 22-year-old's body was recovered from the Cumberland River in Nashville last Friday, 2 weeks after he went missing during a night out with friends. Tonight, we've learned some disturbing details about how he was found. We've learned he was found without his pants, his wallet, or the cowboy boots that he was wearing the night he vanished. Surveillance video captured some of his last known steps on March 8th after he left the downtown bar where his fraternity brothers were. They were all partying together there. It was about 8 miles away from where his body was found. His disappearance mobilized an army of loved ones and strangers alike banding together to look for signs of Riley before the search came to a tragic end. A preliminary autopsy found no signs of foul play in his death, but the family is not completely satisfied tonight. They have ordered a second autopsy with even more tests that will potentially give us more insight into what happened. And joining us now, family friend Chris Dingman. Chris, thank you for coming on the show again. I understand that Riley has been returned home. His funeral will be happening on Friday. So we're obviously thinking of you all right now, and I can't imagine how difficult all of this has been. But I want to ask you about this second autopsy and some of the new information you've learned. What's new here?
The family did have a second autopsy, actually in Tennessee, following the Metro Nashville autopsy from a private individual company that does that. The original autopsy came out just like theirs did, with no obvious signs of trauma, as in weapons, guns or knives, or etc. But they were able to do a little bit more testing on specific items. One thing that threw the family for a loop was, the coroner going on record with a news person in Nashville stating about the lack of water in his lungs. It raises more questions. I'm not a crime drama person by no means, but usually water in the lungs means that, they were alive when they went into the water. So more questions. We hope they're going to get some answers with the toxicology. I just hope that this doesn't get swept underneath the rug, because the family deserves more answers than we have.
What about the boots, Chris? Tell us what you've learned in terms of what Riley was wearing and what he wasn't wearing when he was discovered.
Riley, we were told, and which blew the family away. It actually went out on social media, and I screenshotted it and sent it to our war room, and was like, who in the world is this? Who is releasing this information? Because at the time, certain family members didn't even know about that, which really kind of blew us away. Not sure how they got that information. Once again, one more question. But unfortunately, the only thing that was found with him, as the police stated in the report, was the watch and the shirt. Everything else was not with him when he was found.
And if you can describe the boots that he was wearing, because that could end up being significant.
His mother was pretty sure they were Justin's, and they were a square nose style cowboy boot, kind of a flat color. Once again, the jeans were, I think, buckle is what the jeans were. We already knew about the Michael Kors billfold. there's specific things that we've been out in front of this entire time looking for in case this did come up. So we're hoping now that maybe that they will come up so we can get more answers.
So his cowboy boots were not on when he was found, and his jeans were not on, and his wallet was missing. Do you know, Chris, if he was wearing a belt?
That I do not know, unfortunately, but in one of the pictures we went back and looked at, I'd always preached to the boys about keeping their billfold in their front pocket. Just to being in clubs, it's real easy to get pickpocketed. And the one picture where the boys are all together outside, if you look in the right front pocket, we're pretty sure that's where he had his billfold. So the billfold should have been secured in his pants. Unfortunately, we don't have those answers right now.
Last time we spoke, you mentioned that police had told the family, this was right after his body was discovered, that there were still some people that they wanted to talk to. We know there's a homeless sort of camp in that area. Have they been able to talk to those people? Have you learned any more on that front?
We have not been notified. Actually, one of the people of interest, a little bit after an hour Riley was found, I was back at that scene and just happened to see that person. And so we had a group of volunteers that kind of followed the gentleman. We called the police, let them know that we had found him because we hadn't been notified they had talked to yet, and was told by the police that, that was no longer a person of interest. They had somebody else they were interested in. But we know from the homeless people that lived there, that was the person that was supposedly up on the road when Riley fell into the bushes or whatever happened, and he yelled back down that, this was just somebody that had been drinking. It was okay. So once again, a little more confusion. I hope that the ball hasn't been dropped on this. There's numerous people in the videos at the detention center that coincide with the police officer's body cam and a time stamped where they show up on footage still walking north. I strongly believe, and it may just be a love family one knowing that wanting some more answers, but I think there's somebody out there that knows what actually happened that night, and we would love for them to come forward, and we need some more info.
Okay, so that is the clip from News Nation with Chris Dingman. And I said Chris is the one that has been the voice for the family. So, guys, I'm going to share something with you guys, and a lot of y'all that are here, on the channel. These are my trusty boots. These are square toes. These are not Justin. These are Arats. But they're, of course, all beat to hell because they're country, and that's a country thing. But these things don't come off easy. So I'm just going to put that out there. They don't come off easy. I'm going to run through chat real quick, and then we'll pull up this other video that I want to share with you guys. Karen Lee says, Mom, do you know how long it takes to do toxicology in Tennessee? It could take up to 6 months in North Carolina. Experience and wait for toxicology for 6 months. It's crazy. And I don't know how long it takes, but I'm going to tell you right now, the world is watching. So Nashville needs to get their hind ends in gear and get this out there so the family has closure. So we know exactly what happened. All right. He had fallen on his head, ear. I suspect the fall and the head passed out later on the ground. Someone took advantage of the situation. A homeless took his pants and boots and threw him over. It's very possible. It's very possible. Anything is possible in a case like this. Absolutely anything's possible. Just because there's preliminary no foul play, madam. Just because there's a preliminary no foul play doesn't mean that there's a bigger picture. I would like to know why he was not wearing pants or boots. So you got two plausible things that may have happened. That is a mean river. That is a big, mean river with a hell of a current. It is possible in the world of things that the river pulled his boots and his pants off. I try not to speculate, and I mean no harm to the family, but until I know for sure that this person of interest has been questioned exactly what happened, I'm going to be in the middle of that. I'm going to balance between the middle of the current and the fact that somebody took his boots and his pants and his phone and his wallet. Those of y'all that were here when I first started covering Riley's case, the debit card being found, I honestly believe that I want to believe that debit card was in his front pocket. If his wallet was in the front pocket of those jeans, it's not very likely that the current snatched his wallet out of the front pocket of those jeans. Denise, welcome in. She says, just tuning in. What about no pants, no wallet? Can pants fall off of a body itself in the water after 14 days? It's possible that the current could have pulled them off. But you have to keep in mind that that current is towards the middle of the river. So he would have went off the edge, got pulled out, sucked down, and come back up to float to where he was found at because of the undertow. They left him in that state. Yeah. This is heartbreaking. Tracy says right there, he busted his head, laid several seconds before meeting concussion. That's very possible. And that's where I'm leaning because I've actually been fishing. I mean, you guys know Mini Monster, myself, his brother, I raised my kids in Nashville. So we've been fishing there. So on that bank, like where the drop off is, there are rocks. And you'll get hung up in them. If you don't reel back fast, you're going to lose your hook and half your line. Are you done banging around?
Not quite.
Okay, I'm muting you again.
Oh.
I'm on a rant. Huh?
Okay. Rant.
All right. Keep it. I'll unmute him, guys, but I know a lot of people wear headphones and nobody wants to hear him cooking. Kind of caught him at dinner time, so. But he's a trooper and he's going to come in and talk with us. What'd you say?
I said I was hungry.
That's all right. Carol Mary 46. I'm sorry. Welcome in. I'm sorry, guys. I work 40 hours a week. I just got off work, so if I mispronounce or miss anybody's name up, I do apologize ahead of time. I think he hit on the head and may have injured himself later. When he was walking, he probably passed out because of it. If someone found him on the ground, took his expensive shoes and pants. Yeah, Justin's are expensive. Pair of boots that I just showed you guys, I got those on sale for $200 at the boot barn, and that's on sale. I agree with the guy in gray. Yep. Wish we had to find out if he had a belt on. See, and that, I went back and looked at some of the pictures, but you really can't tell. And honestly, the only people that are going to be able to tell us whether or not he had a belt on is going to be his frat brothers that was there with him. If somebody was watching, saw him grab his belt as he was getting dressed to go out that night. Hello, Laura Dia. Welcome back, honey. Jameson said, poor kid. Absolutely, James. I agree. Yeah, I think the employees and friends should hold some type of accountability. Hi, Far. Welcome in. Glad you made it, honey. Nobody should have left him find this way a line in place where he didn't even know what was happening. It's clear one alcoholic drink doesn't throw you that far out of sorts. No, I agree. Expensive clothes, buckle, jeans, and Justin boots. Exactly. Buckle is expensive. Back in the day, buckle was high dollar. You go in there, you pay $400 for a purse with a bunch of fancy bling on it. They're expensive in there. I love buckle. They need to pull a video inside him in the bar and watch where his drink came from if anyone slipped it to him. I agree, Tracy. I agree. Ms. L, welcome in, says the boots and jeans could be sellable item, as could the billfold. The shirt was well publicized, so no one would want that. Either someone found him, Reed took his stuff to sell, or someone unalived him. Exactly. Very possible. Someone knows exactly what happened. I agree 100%. I absolutely agree. James wants to see your eggs.
What's going on, man? These
Slamming around eggs.
Let me show you what I got going on here, right? I got a burnt pan.
Oh, Lord, he's burning pans, y'all.
Man. Anyway. So I got some toasted sourdough some mayonnaise, and some garlic salt, covered with some. Well, they were supposed to be fried eggs, but they kind of turned out scrambled. But I threw some cheese on there and made it nice and good. That's the old lady's right there. She gets the good one. She gets the one that come out better.
Wow, and he's just a sweetheart. What a gentleman. I'm
She
proud
gets
to
the
have
good one.
raised a gentleman.
Yeah, I'm getting the one that's all. See, this was like the tester sandwich. Like, you know how you have the experiment sandwich and you got like the good sandwich. Like, this is the one that you showcase at like the wedding, and this is the one you eat because you're ashamed, but it still tastes good.
I got it. I mean, if you're at a wedding, they got to be a little bit of shame. All right. So, with your burnt pan there, sir.
Oh yeah, but I mean, look.
You should cook it on high.
All right, back to the subject at hand here. Sarah
put it on like 6, man.
Sarah Elizabeth says, "Do you think that he could have realized he fell in the water and just took his boots and pants off so they don't weigh him down? Anything is possible." That's very possible too, especially if he's had. I did read on Twitter earlier there was a swimming trainer that kind of put out a statement that if you do go in the water, pull your boots, your shoes, and your pants off. You know, because your shoes are going to weigh you down when they fill with water, and then your pants can actually be used as a flotation device. So it's pretty handy information to have. Let's see. Wait till they're walking around and see someone with them on. Right. Because those are going to be noticeable. Hopefully, if Metro Nashville is paying attention, they will be able to realize that that's what let's see. He was so thin, perhaps the current did get pulled away. That's very possible. Like I said, that's a strong current. Both boots, I don't see it happening. I do rodeo. Boots are extremely hard to pull off. There you go, Lady V. That's why I just showed my boots. Like, look at these. These suckers are heavy. These are heavy. These are just the same as a Justin boot. You see all this? And something else that happens. Think about it. When leather gets wet, when you've got your boots on all day long, your feet swell, right? So when your feet swell, these are held to get off. They're held to get off. Leather gets wet. Leather turns real stubborn real quick when it gets wet. So it's hard for me to to settle with to say, Curly, I'm sorry guys, my panel guest is trying to rip my headphones off as usual. All right. Let's see. This case is just a bit sus. Wait for more updates. Yeah, I can't wait to see more updates. I know Brian Enton, I was actually live at 5. So we'll have something else we'll share later on. They didn't mention underwear, did they? If the current pulled off his pants, shouldn't have pulled his unders off. I heard that he still had his boxers on. So that I question that too, because boxer shorts are going to be a lot lighter than blue jeans. Especially buckle blue jeans. Because buckle jeans generally have the extra designs and stuff on them, right? You guys know what I'm talking about? The fancy pockets and, all your little pieces that go on there. Let's see. I noticed they didn't mention. I heard it somewhere boxer. So, guys, don't quote me on that. I don't want to put out misinformation. Arctic Fox, welcome in, honey. I hope you're doing well. Fair warning. Oh yeah. Yeah. Unless you have like vision, if you have vision impairment, just let me know. And that way I can send notification to YouTube to let them know that you're a vision impaired viewer. And that way they don't get my chat for the caps. From the beginning, it's obvious that it wasn't an accident. I mean, I have my opinions on it just from being from Nashville. So what do you think? I'm thinking foul play, nude from the waist down, and no water in the lungs. Math ain't math. And I agree, Arctic. So just to put my opinion out there, and guys, this is solely my opinion. This is not based on any facts that I've read from law enforcement. I honestly believe that he wasn't with us when he went in that water. There is huge homeless encampments down there and some unsavory people that hang out downtown Nashville after dark.
And I can kind of Justin Boots really ain't that. They're fucking kind of difficult to get off.
Yeah. But my opinion, I believe that I'm gonna lean towards there's a lot of rocks on that shore, on the bank, not the shore. I'm in Florida, guys. I'm sorry. On that bank, there's a lot of rocks. And it would not take anything at all for somebody that was in nefarious ideal gonna do something wrong to this kid to see how he was dressed, know he was a tourist, knock him in the head, take his boots, take his shoes, take his wallet, see the debit card. Can't do anything with it because I don't have the PIN number or the zip code. Toss the debit card, and in the river he went. It's very possible. But that's clearly my opinion. That is not anything that's been backed up by law enforcement, guys. Got no water in his lungs. There's cases dry down here 15 to 20%. Right. That's what we were saying. That's
look in my personal
forsooth investigation.
In my personal opinion, the best thing that could have happened in this bad scenario is already because it's already worst case scenario. Let's go ahead and get serious about it. It's already a pretty bad scenario as it is. The best thing that could have happened was somehow, some way, Riley may have hit his head that hard going the way down and may have departed us, or because the math ain't mathin', you know what I mean? But in the best case scenario is that Riley may have hit his head hard enough that it could have killed him, and then he miraculously rolled into the water, Given me whatever odds that could be, if that's not the case, then what is it?
Right. Vesper Martini says, crime talk and cooking show. You've started a trend. Hey, we're trying to start some kind of trends around here. Might as well be good conversation and some eatings. James says it looks delicious.
All the bars are swearing up and down. He only had one beer. Is that not right, chat?
I mean, Aiden had it, and he basically went on conscience to start the season.
Sorry, my partner's queuing in with us, guys. Say hi to hi.
Hello, beautiful. What'd she say?
She was asking if it could be alcohol poisoning, but every bar in downtown Nashville swears to God they only served him a beer and water.
It still doesn't explain how he ended up in the water. There was no water.
I'm sorry, the kid on the camera. He didn't look completely shit-faced. Excuse my French. Sorry, YouTube. He didn't look completely shit-faced, but he did, quite frankly, look like he was having a decent time. He wasn't having Riley Strain's last moments weren't. They were either, because I saw a couple of different speculations. He was either enjoying his time, just trying to find his way back home. But I did see a video also as well talking about some car that may have been following him too. I don't know how far that gets true, because there's been so many different speculations as to what could have actually happened. But in the betterment of my mind, my heart hopes that he was at least he was in Nashville, he was 20 years old. He wasn't expecting danger to be right around the corner. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So Arctic Fox says, not sure. All I know is no pants. I don't see water pulling his boots off. I wear boots and they can be a struggle to pull off at night. Exactly. I agree. For Sleuth Investigation says Pat Brown said that. I don't think I believe that theory. I'm not sure. I haven't watched Pat Brown yet. If you don't mind putting in chat what her theory was, I would be very interested in hearing it. Mini Monsters, do you still have a channel? He does gamer. He's a gamer, guys. He's not a podcaster. I kind of just wrangled him into this.
I haven't so much as done the game. Kind of like I do some content a little bit, but I really haven't done much of anything so far. A lot of my content is just video gaming. Sorry, I'm talking with a mouthful, but I do mainly emulation. I used to run a server for a while. I no longer do that anymore. So this is kind of like, this is a little bit more wholesome for my time.
Yeah, he's my tech guy. So Pat Brown is a professional criminal profiler. Yeah, I know who she is. She does some amazing work. I haven't seen what she said yet. PJ says, I guess professionals said if it was normal for a person to lose clothing, etc. But I don't know. Yeah, like I said, I'm from Paducah. I'm from a river city. 4 rivers run through that city. 4 rivers meet in the city I'm from. And it is possible that it pulled his clothes off. Because, I mean, you guys, if you've ever been swimming and not had your top, for the ladies, not had your top on good, it'll pull them off. If you're here in the ocean, I've seen Mr. Sunshine's bottoms get pulled off in the ocean. So it is possible. I'm not saying it's not possible. It is very possible that the current pulled his bottoms off. But again, it's possible that it didn't. Yes, boxers. I'm not sure if I missed the earlier comment. Sorry, guys, I get behind in chat. Doxy, did I miss Doxy? Welcome in, hun, if you're in here. I'm not sure what's going on with my comments. I think I'm missing some comments.
Outside of the related topics that we're discussing, when we start coming to a summary, I do kind of want to do a community poll if you want. Just had a slight idea. I'd like to ask everybody here what they think of something.
Okay. So Gypsy Witch Queen says, I have a pair of Justin boots, not square tip, but still have a hard time getting them off. See, anybody that wears boots knows that it's not always fun to get your boots off. Not good news on Riley. Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad that he was found. Hello, NFT. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. I always have the most unwanted opinion, so I'll just say, honey, you don't have to just listen. Throw it in there. Over here, all opinions are welcome. Please, that's why we're here together. That's why we do these. We're brain picking. Put your opinions in chat. As long as you're respectful to the victims and the families, that's all I ask. Please, please, please do not victimize the victims. We do no harm around here. We engage with empathy. Other than that, please, please, please put all your opinions in here. I'm okay with mentioning creators. Put your opinion, as long as you're not victimizing a family or a victim, re-victimizing a victim, dude, you are good. Please, please put your opinion in here. Henny Number Fan 1, welcome back, said, in my opinion, definitely not alive when he went in the water. Lori says, why was he half naked? Exactly. Farkey says, excuse my ignorance, would people steal the clothes of an injured man and push him in? It's very possible, yes. Especially right now, even though it was warmer on the warmer side whenever they were there. Are you muted on purpose or did I mute you?
I pulled my screen protector off my phone so the camera actually looked like a camera and not 60s Photoshop filter.
I thought I muted you. Yeah, and you're not ignorant. And yes, it is cold up there. It's cold up there till June. It might be warm, then it might be cold. So it is very possible. See, Tracy Robinson says, when they said it was a drunk man falling down into the bushes, then when that happened, he was robbed up there of his clothes, his Michael Kors wallet, Justin boots. See that? And that's what I want to know. So where is the person that we had the couple that went on the news, all you could see was his shoes, and said that somebody yelled back up, oh, he's just been drinking, he's fine. Where is that person? Where is the description on that cat? Because I want to know what that guy looks like, or girl. I'm assuming it was a male. We don't assume, makes the ass out of you and me, but I'm going to. I want a description on that person. Why have we not seen a description?
Back to the house with them, so.
Because some people, I guess that would be remained anonymous. Even if they were going to go about tracing him down as a suspect, they would try to go about vetting him out first and credibility, I would assume.
Yeah, but there's still people that are in that area. We've got Sebastian Rogers missing out of Hendersonville. Hendersonville's 20 minutes from downtown Nashville. What if somebody sees this guy?
I know that both me and her, the day of there, I'm not going to point fingers from the video. I'm not going to say anything about the video, but from what I've discussed with you and what I've discussed with her, you already know what I'm talking about. There was a particular that we came across. And me and Jen, when we got back from McDonald's and all that popped off before the live stream, we originally were going back over there to go look and see if we couldn't talk to him again. Both of us had a weird hunch feeling, so that's the whole reason we were going to go back to talk, because we just didn't believe that he didn't see nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because it's Nashville. I've lived there for a while. That street is way too populated.
Yes, FarQ. People will steal your clothes off your back given the opportunity.
Very unlikely that nobody absolutely saw nothing in this case. It's very unlikely. Very unlikely. And the only reason anything was saw as to what really went down, if something really went down, if it doesn't come to light, it's going to take really badass detective work. And if it does come to light, it's a matter of getting somebody out of that street side mentality. You know what I'm saying? That they're still in the streets. They got to protect that street mentality that they're,
right.
you know, something. Then you need to just talk about it. Even if you fear the repercussions of what you saw, you know what I'm saying? Even if you were involved, you know what I'm saying? This family's suffering. It's not a game.
Right. And Norma Joskin Biamora, welcome in. Not sure what we're continuing, but continue. Right on, right on. Henny number one fan says he did not dry down. Convenience or deep. Muting him again. Are you done? Copper Girl, welcome in, says something isn't just right. The math ain't mathing for sure. Absolutely. NFT says, so do we know about the shirt? This is not sitting right. I'm going to say foul play. So he had his shirt on. So he was found with his shirt on. Just say he was smacked on the head. Wouldn't an autopsy already have found trauma on his head? Well, see, what we heard was the oppressor, that was within 2 hours of him being pulled out of the water. So everybody was still on scene. So if he has a brain injury, and you back me up on this, if he has a brain injury, just because you can't see it on the outside, I'm smoking. Let me take this off because I talk with my hands. If you guys can't see my hands, you can't see what I'm talking about. All right. So if he doesn't have a wound on the outside, that doesn't stop a brain injury from being on the inside. Right? MomsterMini.
Sorry, I was reading. Somebody said that I was reading chat, and someone said that we had skipped what their comment was. I was trying to see if I couldn't find
Who did I skip? What's her name?
It's Norma Joskin Bamora. She mentioned. She said, "Hun, my dear friend, you jumped over my comment. I was trying to find the comment that she. Could we run through the comments real quick before we?"
I think I missed it. Okay, from the beginning, it is obvious it wasn't an accident. Was that it? If not, put it back in chat, guys. My chat on my StreamYard keeps disappearing and coming back, so I apologize.
And as I'll try to pay a little bit more attention to chat. My apologies. It just.
I am so sorry about that. I don't mean to miss anybody. I try to make sure that I pull every single comment up on screen because I want you guys to feel welcome here and feel like you're appreciated and that you're being heard, because that's what we are. We are a voice for the voiceless. You guys are in chat, so I can't hear your voice. So your chat is your voice. So definitely, if I miss you, I apologize. Just put it back in there and I'll grab you, because StreamYard it'd be on some of its own stuff here. Trying not to miss anybody. I'm scrolling back through here to find out, make sure I didn't miss anybody.
My head injury, brain injury. I hate using the phrase brain injury, but we'll discuss that. You'll have to run that by me again. But
okay, so I said when you have a brain injury from trauma, the damage is not always on the outside. Sometimes it's on the inside.
Subdermal, yes. Can be subdermal. And in my case, not only was it subdermal, but it was subfractional. So it was underneath the bone structure of my. Not only was there a lesion of blood that had clotted on the top of my skull, but there was a lesion of blood that was clotted underneath my skull as well, and could have had bust. It could have caused a lot of damage. So it was arachnoid. It was called a subarachnoid hemorrhage. If you want to get on Google and Google it up, pull it up, chat, however you want to. It's called a subarachnoid hemorrhage. Took a skull fracture. It was about a 3-inch skull fracture on the left side of my skull. I was paralyzed from the right side. It's really true what they say when you get hit on the left side, your right side goes down, and vice versa. It's really true what they say. You have to learn how to rewalk pretty much your entire body. I'm not a fan of doctors, so I got tired of unsavory nurses, pharmaceutical medicine, and I'm trying to put it in a polite term.
He escaped from the hospital.
Yes, I was tired of unsavory nurses and pharmaceuticals being fed through me, so I was rescued from the hospital.
That's possible. NFT says size 15 boots are out there somewhere in the water. Maybe the boots are in a pawn shop. So disturbing. Very possible. Or on Facebook Marketplace. Let's see. How many bars was he in prior to the one he was thrown out? I think it was in 2. I believe they were in 2 that night.
I have TBI, and you have to do an MRI to see the traumatic brain injury. I have epilepsy from it. It changed me as a person. Occasionally, I get seizures really, really bad, but it doesn't happen unless they're triggered more so.
Yeah, it's a trigger. It's not a fun event.
No, it's not. It's really bad, and start like my other half's had to see it first, and it's not pretty. It's not pretty, is it? One time it happened because I gauged my air up too quick too. That happened. I meant the hair. Oh, it'll be fine. I gauged my. It's bad.
All right, Tracy Robinson says that's what I was talking about. They're covering something up inside the bar, a reason to be put on ND. Why and who was he running from? And see, Nashville, that's their cash cow. That those bars, those honky tonks, that's what they bring their money in from. Yeah, there's Farkew. She said, "Best for a good question. How much was drunk before going out?" Right, pre-gaming, because we did hear Steve SF Investigates. It's a great resource. He did say that he was told that they were seen with Jell-O shots. Arctic Fox True Crime. A lot of college kids will get wasted before hitting the bars because of the high cost of alcohol. But in my opinion, someone pulled a Cosby on him, drugged him. Also, why 16 hours for friends too? Cosby. I love Arctic.
I mean, that's a little dark. But no, that's so bad. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, we've heard stories about people being roofied downtown. I'm talking about survivors have come out and said they've been roofied.
That was a good one.
Oh man, that was pretty
rough.
Oh boy. Yeah, the possibility of being roofied is definitely there, but I'm not saying slim to none. I'm just saying that's a lot of thought. That's a lot of thought, a lot of hell, that may even lead up to a conspiracy. And I'm not discrediting ideas here, but that would mean that there was a lot of thought into roofing somebody, and you would have to essentially, I guess, if you're picking targets, stalk people, right? Put yourself in the mind of somebody that roofing people. You would have to either be in the bar and kind of like pick your targets out, or essentially you're following them from the hotel to each bar they're going to, waiting for a moment.
They left the Hilton.
The only way I can think about something like that, but
they left the Hilton.
Listen to that, you know what I'm saying? And just
let's see. Second autopsy will prove or disprove of head trauma from battery. Exactly. The family's autopsy is really what I'm waiting on. Report him. I'm not sure. Report him missing. I must have missed it, Arctic. Oh, okay. I got you, because YouTube only lets you put enough, a few comments. So it was hours to report him missing. Yeah, absolutely. It's possible they were drugged too. Possibly the water would soak the water and sink as well as his clothing. Got to change. Welcome in. PJ says, I used to drink before going out to drink. And yeah, because a bar downtown Nashville, you're looking at between $9 and $16 for one beer.
Might have a couple beers, think we'll get a fancy drink and go play pool.
I
could
Long
afford
Island iced tea. I tell you right now, in the Wild Horse Saloon back in, I think the last time I was in there was like 2011, because I quit drinking a long time ago. Cost me $16 for a regular,
gay hookup
shooter glass. Let's see. Maybe they put him in the water naked to make it look like. That's possible. That's very possible. Anything's possible. We don't know. We don't know.
Yeah, that's pretty
2 bars
creative.
before Luke's, Miranda Lambert's and Garth Brooks. That's what I was thinking, was that it was 2 bar. It was those 2 bars. And then he tried to go back in one of them and was turned away because he'd been thrown out of Luke's or removed from Luke's. Tried to get in one more bar and denied entry. I'd like to know if he was in Kid Rock's bar. Anyone? Nay. It's across the street. So I went through the footage, but the footage that is on there, I'm not sure when that time. I need to go through and like actually watch the whole video and look for his shirt, because I did skip through it and I did look for that shirt, because there is a guy that does live filming in that bar downtown. He's a podcaster. Pat Brown stated he took his boots and pants off in the water as a survival instinct. I just know if I believe it. She posted it a few hours ago. Yeah, I'm not sure about that either. Because, I mean, if you're drunk and the way he was stumbling around, are you going to be in that right state of mind to think, oh, I'm in the water, let me pull my boots and my pants off?
Maybe
Not
that one
degrading Pat, but
maybe that 1 out of a million chance that he would have had. Hey, because he was young, he might have been witty. Let's keep in mind he was a college student, you know.
Arctic Fox says Pat's way past her prime. No offense, but at her age, the only thing she's qualified is to profile, which depends.
They found him without his pants or boots on.
But a shirt on.
Paintsville at River, Kentucky. All right. I'm from Paducah. Everybody show Arctic some love.
One of the viewers said that they thought, what if it could have been
Don't
made
agree.
to look like a form of essay? Yeah.
Yeah. No,
it's possible.
What if it
It's
was
very
or
possible.
made to look like it?
I had to pop out for 15 minutes and maybe some ended this. Do we know if Riley was wearing a belt? We don't know yet.
The scary thing is if we're looking at a sexual assault case, if it really is that, I kind of want to go back to that because it's good that you bring that up. I don't want to be that guy, but if we are looking at a sexual assault case, then we need to be looking at all young men around Riley's age, you know, for a serial
if there's a
rapist,
trend, right?
You know,
it happens to men too.
You have to think about that in that general concept as well.
Mm-hmm.
You could have a serial killer going through downtown, and I don't mean to panic or freak people out. Once again, my personal opinion, speculation. We're all brain taking here, however you want to look at it, but you also have to keep in mind over reoccurring trends as well. It's like it could be. It's particular that somebody said somebody about it being made to look like a sexual assault case. What if it really is a sexual assault case and there's somebody going around taking the lives of young men after? And
because you know,
also, and I'd hate to be that guy because we don't have the. I hope not. I hope not. But we don't have the second autopsy yet, so we're not going to know anything about sexual assault, and I don't know if parents would want to release that information either.
As much as they're wanting answers, I believe, in my mind, in my honest opinion, we're going to see that autopsy report. Even if Metro Nashville doesn't release theirs, I honestly believe we're going to be able to see the families. Force Sleuth Investigation says if cowboy boots are similar to tactical EMS boots, they are very difficult to take off. It takes a lot of muscle. Yeah, especially if they're wet.
I just recently, my cousin has my Justin, so I have.
Yeah, we're not sure about the belt, Karen Lee. We're not sure about the belt.
And they're not easy to get off. They're not even easy to put on.
So that means that poor kid was half dressed when he went in that water.
They're not easy to put on. They're not easy to take off. So that takes a lot of force.
Yep.
Even on I wear a size 11 and my foot's not that big. I wear a 10 and a half and 11. My foot's not that big, but even then the boots I wore ran a little bit bigger than I were, and they were still a pain in the ass to get on. They were square toe, but just that being that brand.
Him hitting his head is what I think got to him, not the alcohol or anything. Brain injuries are so easy to happen. Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. Could be.
I mean, where I'm from, we wear belts.
A lot of variables in this case.
So, you know, and I'm constantly on the boys about a belt when they were growing up, when they were his age. You know, you got a belt on because, you know, generally you could put a belt on. Just helps hold your pants up, especially when you're getting drunk. Karen says, I am in New Hampshire. We wear sneakers, snow boots, Crocs, and slides. I love it. All right. And also male voices saying they found, and also who was the male voices saying they found the card. I'm gonna have to watch that TikTok again now that everything's kind of calmed down. I'm watching where I left off, catching up to ×2. Just saw the egg sandwich. I'm probably behind in chat too, guys, so I apologize. I'm trying to catch
The
up.
egg sandwich. Just saw the egg sandwich. Nice.
Perhaps
I'm
he had
making
cash
eggs.
in his pocket, and that's why his debit card was found. Take the wallet, take the pants off, shoes to sell. It's very possible. Very possible. I will never be mean to victims or families. Oh, I know, honey. That was a general for everybody. Let's see, what did Far say? I missed it. I don't know what Far said. I missed it. I'm not sure where
I'm
it went.
sorry. Sorry, I just come into your live. You can't take me anywhere. I just come into your live and just
Oh, yeah.
take over everything. Let's start cooking and.
Your Australian aunt said it looked good. You know,
Oh
got
yeah,
chat hungry.
It's all right. It's all right. What do you think? What see the
PJ says Far cute. It's America. Anything happens here, right?
It's not what I think. It's what the commander in chief thinks. What do you think? What do you think of that egg sandwich with the sourdough and cheese and garlic salt?
What egg sandwich?
What egg sandwich? What egg sandwich?
It's gone.
It's gone. See,
Gone.
that's in. The polls
That
are
egg
in.
sandwich done got gone, y'all. All right, Henry, #1 fan, said they need to offer a cash reward with a way to snitch without getting stitches. I love it. PJ is always respectful. I love PJ, guys. She's awesome. If you're not subbed up to her channel, make sure you guys get subbed up. I'm gonna put her in my Nightbot when I actually have time to sit in front of my computer and do what I need to do. Sarah Elizabeth said, can you please explain what you're saying earlier about the fingertips and the oxygen? Okay, so lack of oxygen. If someone is asphyxiated, your fingernails will turn purple from lack of oxygen because the blood puddles in your fingernails, and your fingernails turn purple.
That's it.
Sorry, I'm over here being rude. I apologize.
Okay, my dear friend, you jumped over my comment. I think that was a while back. I hope I got your comment. If not, put it back in here. Tracy, why wouldn't you be trying to straight when you walk up to a cop and been drinking in a strange place? So I called it instant sober because we went from watching him stumbling around to very straightforward, gentleman-like speaking to that officer. So I call it an instant sober. There's a cop, you're instantly sober. You don't want to get a public intoxication. So how you doing? I'm doing good. Short and sweet. Get away from the cop. Jojo Pelosi, hello.
Oh, shit, my bad. The entire time. Have a nice, officer.
Right, you know. The shirt was big enough to swallow him whole. It would have slipped off easily in the water. See, and that's what I was thinking too, is if stuff's going to get ripped off him in the water, that shirt was awful light. So that's a good possibility. PJ says, I think homeless person thing was a lie with the person wearing it. I do too. I don't believe that. I think it was a 5 minutes of fame thing, and that's my opinion. The brain doesn't show on the outside. Okay. Being straight when you're in front of a cop, especially if you're drinking, why go to jail for a PI? Exactly. In a place when you ain't from, especially. And you don't want to go to jail in Nashville. That would be on the inside. That's going back to the, it was PJ. He had the shirt on when he found him. Right. Right. You're looking for Normal's comment. Thank you, Far. If you find it, copy and paste it and drop it back in chat, please. Carol Mary 46. He could have had hemorrhages in his head. You don't necessarily have to have a bruise or an injury on the outside, but internally in his head. But I would think an autopsy would have to be done to determine that. Absolutely. Absolutely. You have to do an MRI, CAT scan, or even an x-ray to see brain injuries. Facts. I believe she was posting in call. Okay. I think we're going to turn this, and I think people are going to turn this like Kylie's case. I hope not. I hope not either, because I don't think I could stand the drama that went through that baby's case. Here we go. Subdural hematoma. Nashville PD is done investigating this case. I haven't heard. I would like to think the case is still open. I haven't heard that the case has been closed, so they better damn well be still investigating this case, because we're not going to let Riley be forgotten. And like Chris stated on Brian Enton's interview, we're not going to let this get swept under the rug. If I have to go on Twitter every day and tag Nashville Police, News Nation, NBC, Oxygen, True Crime, anybody I can think of, I'll start doing it if I don't see updates on his case. See, far Q, if she typed a comment, I'll cut. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Nightbot doesn't delete anybody, guys. I'm so sorry you had a bad head injury. Lots of love. Thank you, Sarah. He did have a bad head injury. I almost lost him. It was pretty devastating. Yes, Denise. He escaped from the hospital. Called me the day before. Told me he wanted a hamburger from Wendy's and a peanut butter and jelly sandwich because he was starving. And then he escaped from the hospital. Somehow he got out of a secured room, got down to the nurse's desk, got his street clothes that were supposed to be secured location because he's on a brain injury floor, neurology floor, and walked out of the hospital. Got a ride home.
That's not the only time you tried to escape. There's been 2 other times since.
Oh, she's going to set you out. Set him out. At Henry fan number 1, they've done an autopsy, and a polite way the autopsy would have revealed that. Right. Yeah. I could almost guarantee that he had a CT x-rays done, especially during private autopsy family. That's where if you listen to what Chris said, he says that they did extra testing. So that is another reason why I want to see both autopsies, because I want to know exactly what Nashville put in their autopsy. And I'll tell you guys why. If you looked at my community post, there is a playlist, and it is called What the Hell's Going On in Tennessee. Those cases that are in that playlist are dear to my heart. That is about the murder billboard in Cookeville, Tennessee. Later on in the live, we're going to look at a clip that I want to show you guys. And that is my main reason why I've got a magnifying glass over law enforcement in Tennessee. Is because I had families reach out to me that to this day don't have justice. I'm actually honored to say I am good friends with the family member of the first person in the state of Tennessee right after the TBI was born, corruption in her father's case. All right. Let's see. Karen Lee says in the cop cam video I think I heard Riley clomping when he was walking. Does that mean his boots were possibly too big for him and could fall off easier? Just a thought. He could be heavy-footed too.
Yeah,
he could be heavy-footed because Tater, my youngest son, is very heavy-footed. When he wears boots, he sounds like an elephant going through the room. And he's tall. He's as tall as Riley. He's bigger than Riley because he's built, cornbread-fed country boy. But he's tall as Riley. Lighting the way home, PJ says, yeah, I take seizure meds at night. Haven't had one in years. That's awesome, honey. So, yeah, keep your fight up, friend. Absolutely. Has epilepsy. Also know the feeling. All right, Gypsy Queen. Much love to everybody. Thank you guys so much for being here and being such an awesome community. We have to find out what the cause of death is since he was placed into that water dead and not by drowning. I agree. I want to know what the COD is. What is the cause of death? I want to know the exact cause of death. Because drowning, how many tests did they do? How did we come to this conclusion? I'm totally understand dry drowning, but again, we're not going to let this get swept under the rug. Just because Nashville wants to make their money from downtown, we got CrimeCon coming up. Nashville's a tourist city. It's a moneymaker. This is what keeps their roads the best roads in the United States, is the funds that they bring in that state. Rangers Forever 55. Are you an Army Ranger? I have to ask. Holy crap, it's not Mind of Monsters. It's the look of monsters on this channel. I'm not sure what that means, but I don't know if I should take that as a compliment or if you're a troll. Because if you're a troll, I do guess I need to remind everybody trolls get eaten around here. Okay, so we'll go back.
I don't
I don't know. Sometimes I wonder what the YouTube comments are. I don't know. Well,
Karen Lee says, "Have you watched all the people who were around the time Riley disappeared? Birch building footage during the exact minutes Riley Strand went missing." Yes, I have. I have. Mob crew did an amazing job breaking that video down. Big shout out to Chris. What kind of college buddies go out drinking with their friend and let him leave the bar intoxicated by himself? A strange city. I'm not right. I mean, I wish somebody would have went with him. We wouldn't be sitting here today talking about Riley. We'd be talking about somebody else, guys. Was he given a fatal dose of drugs, injection after he was taken? We'll have to wait for that toxicology. Absolutely. That toxicology report's going to be the key to a lot of this. Lighting the Way Home says, "No, Karen, I look into older cases. I'm here to support mom and hear bits and pieces on Riley." Thank you, PJ. If you guys are not subbed up to PJ, make sure you go sub up to her. She does some great advocacy. She was Harmony's biggest voice. The Birch building video could help us figure things out. Yeah, absolutely. And I want timestamps from that body cam footage. And where's the rest of the body cam footage? We got a small little clip it. Where's the rest of that footage? Who else walked by?
No, thank you. That's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. We definitely do appreciate all the love. He already had the second. Yes, the family had the second autopsy done in Nashville. Friends don't let friends drive drunk. Similar things happen here. Absolutely. Real Happy 33, welcome in. Hey, how are you doing? Says she hasn't seen it. The family friend said the second autopsy showed the same as the first, no water in his lungs, except there's some other pieces that were in that second autopsy. Because if you listen to what he said, you got to catch those little Easter eggs that are being dropped. They did extra testing. So I want to know what the extra testing was. Especially when law enforcement is saying they are looking for a person of interest. Right. Right. So, you know, we want to know what happened. Yes. Yeah. Long Island iced tea. And it wasn't even no big glass. Let me tell you what. And that was the Wild Horse Saloon downtown on Nashville. I think it's on 2nd Avenue. Isn't the Wild Horse on 2nd Avenue or is it on Broadway? I haven't been down there drinking in a long time.
I didn't hang out in downtown as much as I would love to say. I did go hang out in downtown, but just not on Broadway. You, as a teenager, you don't have no business on Broadway.
Yeah, this is true.
You ain't getting in a bar on Broadway. You might get in a couple like the novelty shops, but you're not getting in a bar on Broadway. Don't even try.
Oh, wow. Poor Sleuth
fine.
Investigation says the reviews on Luke's bar in Nashville on the internet is extremely interesting, by the way. Reviews are all bad. That's not good. Far says, PJ, they pay $70 for a pack of smokes here. That's when I'd be quitting. I don't see how he could have taken them off in the water. It's possible, but again, I'm leaning towards I don't know, unless the current snatched them off. And again, that's still drawing a lot of straws. Unfortunately, he was heavily intoxicated. That is important. Exactly. So if somebody that intoxicated, is he going to have the rational thinking to take his boots and his pants off? His body is not showing any external trauma, so I'm stumped. It has to be a toxicology, then a strangling or a hybrid bone broken or just bruising. Right, absolutely, because you're going to see damage to the trachea. There's going to be neck damage there. That's going to show whether or not he was strangled. Oh, thank you. It does happen to men. Absolutely. Bruising that is being missed. Yep. I just got here as y'all think. We're speculating and brain picking. So I'm just saying that I think it's very odd.
Quantum theory, man.
The whole thing is very odd to me.
It's like quantum theory, man. It could be anything. I was agreeing with you. It's like we're just that's what quantum theory really breaks down to, is just the ideas of if you think it can be, it could be. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Anything with a rational outcome, is better than not knowing what happened at this point.
Right. There was 2 other bodies that were recovered as well. See, Arctic Fox says, I mean, people are making comparisons what happened to Riley to the smiley face killer. I saw that too. Right. We're all happy not. Sure, no water in the lungs, pants, boots gone. So yeah. So I'm really waiting before I start putting out a lot of heat on the Nashville police. I used to be a paramedic and female. Oh, well, thank you so much for your service. I'm sorry, Dandy. You know how YouTube is. The hell, StreamYard's been jacking my comments. On your theory, ring of opportunity already set up and in place. Someone in the bar roofies him outside waiting for that bar to be targeted. It's very possible because we know there was a pickpocket that was going around. Everybody's saying hello to Dandy. Right, but those things can happen in drownings. Yep. Dandy, if you don't mind, would you do me a favor? Would you grab Arctic's link and PJ's link, lighting the way, and drop them in chat, please, ma'am? Hello, FarQ. Karen Lee says, Arctic, did you notice the woman who got right next to the law enforcement guy giving the press conference right after Riley's body was found? Smiley faces on the back of her phone. So, Karen, I was watching that. There are clips of her at the vigil. There are clips of her at the press conference. There's a couple other clips of her. And I mean, no disrespect to this girl, but who is she?
Who are you?
Who are you? Lurking around. If he traveled down that debris river for 8 miles, he would have had external trauma. Exactly. Because the river is nasty. See, Arctic said, I saw that, Karen. I thought that was crazy too. Yeah, that didn't set too well with me either. I don't think it set well with anybody. Karen says, Arctic Fox, that woman was so intentional in her actions, deliberately positioning herself to be in the camera, holding up the phone so people could see the smiley faces. Exactly. Arctic says, be right back. Gotta help mom get to bed. Okay, honey. Hopefully, if you could still hear my voice, thank you so much. JCN, hello. Thank you so much for coming in. Welcome. All right. Yeah, it is interesting. 4Q, very interesting. Real happy there to do this. My first time. Who is co-hosting? So I am your host, Sunshine. I am Mind of Monsters, and
The man
this.
co-hosting. The man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah, on this side? No, he's on this side. This side over here. This is Mini Monster. He's my son. He was actually boots on the ground in Nashville for us.
Smiley face girl. What is a smiley face? What?
Smiley face killer. That'll be something we'll dig into together, and I'll blow your mind. A real sick conspiracy serial killer type thing would be pretty assured on him before putting him in the river. Right. And so, I mean, that's what we do here, the Mind of Monsters, because we know that normal people don't do the things that we cover on this channel. Normal people don't just go out and unalive people for no reason at all. And lately, it's like 2024 came with a bang and has just absolutely been boom, 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 boom ever since the first of the year. Because I'm telling you, man, it is definitely not good normal people that do the things that happens in this world.
Let's see, I don't know. Let me think. Let me knock on Mr. Noggin. Who could trick us into doing that? Could have been Satan.
Man. Little monster. For Riley. For Riley. Thank you so much. Your son or who? My JCN, my son is here. That's my son. That's Mini Momster over there. He was actually boots on the ground for us. Let's see. Yes, he escaped the hospital. Yes, he did. So he was kicked out. It's possible, Sherry. We don't know yet. It got a change. Welcome back. Says, what if one of the parents were called while he was walking? They were down there and pulled his card out. The wind blew his card from his hands. Then he went to look for it. That's possible. Very possible. Chopper said, I would like to know the blood alcohol level. Exactly. That toxicology is going to have so much information in it. They said that when he fell down hard, that he took a hit to his head. They said also he wasn't holding his head like it was hurt. I know in the one little clip, he really wasn't holding his head. He was more like looking at his phone and was standing under the bridge because he knew he went to look for his card. That's very possible. And that was the finish up of the first comment for you guys that didn't catch it. Barq says, hey, Jace, it's Mom's son who escaped the hospital, if that's what you're asking. Oh, well, thank you, Karen, about the boots. She's catching up, guys. Possibly there's a connection as they reported. It's very possible. Art Fox says, I'm heavy-footed in mine, too. Teachers used to get me all the time about it when I was in school. Yep. COD means cause of death. Sorry. The case seriously makes me chain smoke. Yeah, that's why if you guys see me pop off camera, it's because I'm smoking and I don't like to smoke on camera because I don't want to trigger anybody. Karen says, Arctic, these boots were made for walking. Henny, #1 fan. If you look closely at the video, after Riley fell, he is not holding his head. He's bringing up his phone to his head to speak and talk. That's very possible. Wait, they think he was placed in the water? We don't know. We're just looking at all the factors and discussing and brainstorming and making sure that we're keeping Riley's name out there. And we want law enforcement and we want mainstream media to know that we haven't forgotten Riley. We want to know what happened. If there was a person of interest, why was there a person of interest? Was that just due to the fact that he wasn't able to be found? Or is this a person of interest that allegedly helped him out of the bush that he fell and he was just drunk? It's okay. What was said to the homeless couple. So I want to know exactly what wraps around this person of interest. The 5-foot stamp like an elephant. Oh, I love you guys. Yeah. What you talking about, Willis? Does that dino have a name? Which dino? I don't know. Oh, my dino. He's my troll eater. If you want to give him a name, Karen, you can, honey. The Trollosaurus. Yeah, because I don't put up with trolls over here. I can see his conversation with the cop as nervous as trying to look sober. Exactly, Anna, and welcome in. Like I said, instant sober. Instant sober. Adam Montgomery might be forced to go. He, from what I read in the document, he will be in court. We need the TBI FBI called in. See, Henny fans, so when this first happened, I actually reached out. I actually reached out on Twitter and tagged them along with the Nashville Police Department and asked, why have they not been brought in? In the presser that the cold case unit did with the parents there, he said that they had the resources they needed. They didn't need to call in the TBI. Okay.
They've got too much. The TBI's got more important things going on.
We are watching some of the biggest hearted people on the planet. Be nice or be banished. I love you, Dandy. Thank you, ma'am. Well, you know, I'm a country girl. I'm a country gal. I got these trolls. Yeah, I got to get rid of the trolls. Can't have trolls over here because we're all about positively and bringing. Let's see, lighting the way. Sam says pretty doubtful though. Chopper. Henny fan says the family needs to hire a private detective to help. They have a private detective that was helping work with them. I do know that just from private conversations. Let's see. The man that did the church shootings was forced due to safety concerns of the guards. Sorry, my mind is spinning with so many possibilities of what happened. I'm a Libra and a fantastic truth. Yeah, I mean, ours are too. Spinning. I'm hopeful, laugh out loud. I can just be realistic about the crappy city I live in. Yeah, bless your heart, honey. Couldn't imagine. Yeah, Manchester. Danger. It's in Discord. I believe it is May the 8th. I'll pull it up in just a second. Let's see. Michael Slater, welcome in, says, I think TikTok girl had something to do with Riley's case. Heard now that she was working at Riley's bar, got kicked out of, and now involved with the Cajun Navy. It's possible. May 9th. Okay, I was a day off. I apologize, guys. And that's Adam Montgomery, the monster that unalived Harmony Montgomery. Gun charges. Yeah, we don't know if that's true or not. It's all speculation. I always say, do your own research. Don't go after, do not have a cult mentality and be a leader, not a follower. Don't go off of what a YouTuber says. Do your own research.
Have your own instincts.
Yeah. Just wait for new charges for that man. He's a monster. Oh, you guys would get me a whole nother soapbox on Adam Montgomery. If he was killed before he went in the water, wouldn't he have floated and not sunk, as he didn't have water in his lungs? If the current pulled him, he wouldn't have had a choice but to go under. It's possible. Very possible. Trying to get down to the bottom here, guys. I've got another clip I want to share with you guys. PJ, that's right. I forgot that. It's Family One Harmony's case done first. Is that correct? Okay. All right. Lady V, thank you for hanging out with us. He was floating, poor Riley. Yeah, he was found. That's PJ's link, guys. Make sure you go sub up to PJ. JCN, again, thank you so much for being here. Dandy's rock star when it comes to dropping links. I have great mods over here. Yeah, there was Smiley Face on her phone. I think they're on Twitter. There's pictures of it. It's a little creepy. Arctic Fox, please, ma'am. If you don't mind, Dandy, if you can drop his link. He does some great work for the missing. Her name is Smiley Girl. I think that's what they've deemed her. Hi, everyone. I remember another creator met you in Nashville. That'd be CJ. Evil CJ. Guys, make sure you leave some Touch DNA. It's free and a great way to support the channel. Thank you, Arctic. Who is she exactly? Not really sure who she is. She was seen at the Vigil press conference and a couple other places. There's another case, Caleb Parrish, 21 years missing for about a month. Yeah, I've been looking into his case periodically. It's another very, very strange case. Very strange case. We may take a look into his case as well. Far, can you still not see Chopper? If you can't, you're gonna have. I'll have to show you how to get in your Google and check your block list to make sure he's not on your block list. Let's see. I bet Mini Monster didn't escape that bill though. Talk screens take a long time. Karen Lee, I don't know much about her except she was talking on another channel, was crazy serious about searching for Riley, and had major distrust of the cops. Yeah, I don't know much about her either. The smiley face girl.
I think CJ just went live. It's pretty cool.
Did he?
Yep.
Yeah, he's been boots on the ground helping search for Sebastian Rogers, 15, missing out of Hendersonville, Tennessee, autistic teen. Guys, he's been missing for, I believe, 32 days today. Heartbreaking case. If you guys hit that bell and watch for the notification, I will be going live on Sebastian's case tomorrow. I'm actually off work tomorrow. So if you guys want to see me on a big double stack soapbox, make sure you come in because that's probably where I'm going to end up. Farky, I'm a mod. This is my other channel. Oh, no. Yeah, you'll have to check and see if Chopper's blocked. I'm not sure what I missed. Yeah, we'll have to, if somebody check that out, that'd be great. You can mention channels in here. I don't mind if you guys mention other channels. Karen Lee, I can't remember because I watched so many channels. Riley Search, it was Boots on the Ground, but not JLR. He needs a name. We need to poll the name of the troll hunting dinosaur. I'll have to make a poll. We got the Trolloraptor. Yes, he should be in court. Adam Montgomery's a monster. She got upset. Good lops. Okay, so Denise, this is only mine. And so I have an iPhone because the boys are adamant, Mom, get an iPhone. So Mom gets an iPhone.
Yeah.
I did not know that iPhone is super sensitive with the autocorrect.
Yeah.
So I woke up one morning, was having just kind of a rough morning. I'm not much of a morning person anyway. Having a rough morning. Texted Mini Monster here. He's like, hey, love you, Mom. Good morning. Have a good day at work. I'm like, yeah, day didn't start out so good. Woke up. The coffee pot overflowed. Finally got coffee made. My MILF was sour. So then I get a text message back from him that I was like, milk, autocorrect. He said, yeah, we know what you be texting about. So I did not mean my MILF and my coffee was sour, because just the thought of a sour MILF in your coffee, that's just no fun for anybody. I meant my milk was sour, but I honestly believe that it got lost.
I believe your milk was sour, apparently. No, yeah, it seems like an autocorrect kind of situation, but why would it be lops? Like, even as a gamer, I know that somebody tried to devise the term lops. Maybe that's something that's more of the newer. I've never in my life ever heard the phrase lops used as a gaming term. I've got like, I'm 26.
They said it was low
I've played
on
video
power.
games all my life, but yeah, low on power. I guess that could make sense, but I mean, I don't know. What did he play anything in particular that had a power structure? I don't know. I don't know that reference term. You know what I mean?
I haven't heard. I know he liked fishing, and I've got his obituary too that we can take a look at as well. I think good lops was a typo. Sorry for the caps. You're fine. So
but
I think it was
the term that he used normally. Then what would have been? Because even when I go to type lops, P is pretty far away from lost. An S and a T. If he typed got lost, you know what I'm saying? The S and
yeah,
the
but
T are
if you're
pretty far away.
inebriated,
yeah, I mean, I can only speak for myself. You're right, but I don't know.
if you're inebriated.
Autocorrect definitely, but I wonder what the term would have originally meant, or maybe it's one of those words, because I know whenever you text an iPhone, right? Say you text a word out right now. You could do this right. You can, if you have an iPhone in chat right now, you can try this out in your text messages right now if you wanted to. So go to your text messages, enter in a random word, but mess up the last two letters or the last letter of the word, and then hit the space bar. When you hit that space bar, it's going to save that autocorrect word, and when you go to hit delete, it'll show up back in the top left corner. Well, on the screen, my finger's on the right. It'll show up on the top left corner of the screen, and it'll show in the autocorrect bar the words you just typed, because it saved it in your autocorrect. It's how it functions and how autocorrect learns. But even if you screw up a word like got lost and you went to go type lost in and it fixed it to lost, it's because you typed it in wrong prior in the past. So my brain still goes back to, what the hell does lops mean if it meant nothing at all? It was just a screw up one day when he was texting in class or something, or in a game, you know? Just mind you.
Why are you voting?
Could be anything. Maybe I overthink stuff.
Arctic, I see your message. After the live, I'll respond to you, honey. I wasn't ignoring you by any means. Just want to let you know I see you. I see you. All right. There was a comment I pulled up, and I think I went over it. Yeah, Arctic Fox, if you guys are not subbed up to him, make sure you sub up. He's amazing missing creator and advocate.
No.
So I'm trying to get through these. Yeah. Vanished. You guys know I hate that word.
Oh, you're not fine. No.
I think Jenna right, she said.
No,
Penny was a True Crime with Doggo. Doggo is a good channel too. Yeah, I need to do a live on cable at some point. Been a long time since I've been live. I think I've forgotten how. Oh, you got this. You're an OG.
Do you want to speak to the people? No.
Currently, no, that's not it. I didn't watch that channel. Well, we'll brainstorm. Maybe you'll remember who it was. Take a look. It may have been CJ. CJ's been doing some good work. What?
Look, I wanted to show you something. I figured now was the perfect time to show you, of all things. Look
What?
who loves it.
Aw, the Kaylee cat. So, guys, that is a made with love cat bed. I made that.
Raja.
Raja. She's a sweet baby.
Good girl.
Lucinia Williams says, yeah, I seen when CJ was talking to you guys. Yeah. I'm excited for Arctic to go live. Yeah, Doggo, I've been watching Doggo's channel for a while. He actually streamed the Calavente escape, the prisoner escape. He was streaming my channel. And,
oh, wow. Arctic. Oh, my.
I'm not going to use her name. But I had somebody come in here, troublemaker, trying to start something. It's funny when you work with creators in the background. I'm trying to work my way down there.
Get down there. Hurry, Arctic.
Many searchers and streamers have been turned away from searching for Sebastian Rogers' case. It is. And for Soothful Investigation, if you tune in tomorrow, you're going to hear me on my soapbox about that. Hi, Mind of Monsters in chat. Hello, Kel. Welcome. Thank you for coming in. Denise, thank you for coming in. Thank you so much. We appreciate everybody that comes in and hangs out with us. Mom, it happens. We ran in many channels together and dealt with so many trolls blocking left and right. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Frankie, there was like whack a troll going on like hardcore. Uncle Google is my friend. Is it? Oh, I want to come up for that live for sure. The family has been treated like Sebastian's case reminds me of Brandy and Tyler were treated in Monkey's case. Arctic, you are more than welcome. I will drop the link and you can definitely come up. I am so furious about the way that his family's been treated that I could chew through a 16-penny nail. Like I said, I'm going to do a live tomorrow on Sebastian's case, and I'm probably going to piss a lot of people off. But you know me, I don't care, and I don't come with a filter when it comes to these missing kids and families. Let's see. It's been disgusting. It has. It's absolutely been disgusting. Like I said, I'm probably going to piss a lot of people off. Good idea. Live on Caleb Harris. Yeah, I think that would be awesome. Get some good facts out there.
He might have. Somebody said he might have texted his girlfriend good. LOL.
Maybe good. LOL. It's possible. It's very possible. Back came outside for a smoke. Well, welcome back, Lucia Williams. Thank you so much for coming in. He was asked, "How are you? Are you having fun by girlfriends?" So maybe he said, "I'm good and lots of fun." That's possible. That is very possible. Depends on the age.
Lots, like good and lots. You know what I'm saying? Like being
it's
short,
very possible.
good and lots.
Very possible. Arctic says, depending on the age, most milks have gone long on sour. Maybe it was low autocorrect or sour.
Possible. Arctic Fox over here, he said, depending on the age, most milk has gone sour a long time ago.
Lops equal laugh out louds. Possible. Very, very possible. That's why I love these brain pickers. Love my brain pickers. Very, very possible. Yes, let's keep it classy. We like it classy. I need to get us a classy gift, guys. Karen Lee says, no, Arctic, age like fine wine.
I think we're finally getting caught up through chat.
I think I age like moonshine, but, you know, hey, to those. The P and the L are very close on a Kirky keyboard. Very possible. Yep. And I don't know about the i15 Pro Max. I'm not sure what the keyboard looks like on one of those, whether it's a longer keyboard or a bigger keyboard. He was happy, having fun, texted his mom while drinking, accidentally hit the P instead of laugh out loud. Very possible. Very possible. Turned off autocorrect years ago. It's annoying. I don't know how to do it with my new phone. Mini Monster, do you play League of Legends at all? Arctic wants to know.
Not. I mean, I will. I'll main Kane and Yasuo and a couple other characters like Aatrox and stuff. Some older, but I used to play like a long time ago. So like, I don't. It's League is something that you have to like. I guess you could call it riding a bike, but like when you jump away from it, if you play League, you already know how it is. Then you've got all your different like equipment that you have to like get each match. You have to like know your character, know what you're doing, kind of have your own path and plan. If you aren't working with a team, if you are working with a team, know a path and plan. I don't have anybody to play with, and outside of all that too, it's a lot to keep in mind and keep learning on a day-to-day basis. I just now got back into Fortnite. I'll be more than happy to run that with you.
That sounds like a whole lot of moving parts. And Real Happy 33 says, I love all Nightbot's positive messages. Well, thank you so much. All of those positive messages are.
Nope, we froze.
Has any other body been found that far down and half closed? The debit card upstream, but shirt still on, no wallet, of course. I'm not sure. I know that they do pull bodies out of the Cumberland more than you would like to think. Even if you get on YouTube and type in Cumberland River, you will be amazed at how many that they've pulled out that have made it to the news in Nashville. I'm wondering why none of his friends, he was at the bar with, even called his phone to see if he had gotten home all right. Kind of right.
I mean, did they ever pull phone records? That's the question.
That's what I'm saying. Those phone records. I don't think they were fully released, just bits and pieces. My cat won't sleep on a bed. I made that bed. So that bed is actually a long sleeve shirt that is one of my favorite hoodies. And I took it and created a cat bed out of it. Okay. Momstersaurus. I love all the names. You don't see Arctic? You might check your block list, Lucia. There's an Arctic's link. Make sure you guys sub up. So some social media users have speculated that LOPS could be an acronym for low on power. Sorry, right. Caleb Harris is also missing. College student 21, waiting for Uber Eats, $25,000 reward to help that family. Yeah, definitely, Arctic. If you're going to go live, hit me up. I definitely would like to look into his case. Sweet Faces says, I'm not a troll, promise, but Mini Monster has a lot of background noise that makes it difficult to hear you, Miss Mom. I'm sorry, honey.
Sorry.
He could have meant laugh out loud with the P. Moonshine is an arse kicker. Just saying. Hey, I'm just saying, dude, y'all, I'm country. If you can't tell, I'm pure country. I don't know about aged fine wine, but I am definitely some aged fine moonshine. Hello, I've been watching your streams on Rally. Great brainstorming. I'm heartbroken over this. Thank you, Sharon Marie. Yeah, I believe a lot of us are. There's Modine. Hello, fellow gangstas. What is up, Modine? Everybody's saying hello. My other half plays League. That's why I was asking. Okay. All right. Perfect. I believe we're getting close to the bottom here. Everybody's saying hello. Ah, we made it to the bottom. Woo-hoo-hoo. Yay. And another one comes in. Age like fine shine. That's me. That's all me. Whiskey Runner right here. Whiskey Runner. Modine says, hi, Mom and Sidekick. All right, guys. Now that I'm... Yes. Let's see. She says, age doesn't matter. You're beautiful no matter what. Oh, thank you, Carol Vargas. That's really sweet. I love how everyone comes together to discuss their opinions on a case. It truly helps understand the case so much better. Right. Absolutely. Because we all bring so much information between life experience, knowledge, and brainstorming. And as long as we brainstorm and do this in a respectful manner, guys, look at Gabby. If it hadn't been for YouTubers, would Gabby have been found? So being a citizen sleuth's not a bad thing. it's making sure you do it responsibly. That's where we get lost in what I call the meat and taters. All right, guys. So I'm going to pull up this next article that I have ready for you guys. This is where Nick Barris actually did an interview with somebody from, and I haven't watched this, so we're all watching this together, guys. Normally I read over or watch over, but we're going to watch this together. This says, Tennessee body farm expert questions the state of Riley's train when he was found. So I believe this is going to be a lot of what we've been discussing. So we got some good info here that's going to pop up for us. And I believe my swamp signal's kicked in, so it might take it a minute to load here, guys. Hopefully that'll load.
Remember
for
when I
us.
said we need to screen for colon cancer?
Was that after I texted the age to screen was now 40?
Okay, so we're going to click off that ad because I don't want to listen to the ad, guys. But if you're new to the channel, I'm in Florida. We have a body farm down here, and I want to go so bad. And I know that probably sounds really creepy, but what we do here, you know, there's so much knowledge that can be found in a place like that, and to be able to speak to it just is fascinating to me to know that people donate their bodies to go to a body farm for the investigative purposes and knowledge that it brings to be able to see how a body decays in natural surroundings. Okay. So hopefully this is going to play for us. Okay, and it's muted.
The story of his disappearance captured the attention of people.
Sorry, guys, I'm trying to make it bigger. Okay, here we go.
U.S. News
Like, we don't
death
know
of
that
Riley Strain. The story of his disappearance captured the attention of people all across this country.
Oh, come on. My swamp signal done kicked in, y'all. Hopefully I'm going to turn my camera
This
off.
morning, Metro Police released the 911 call from the barge worker.
I'm sorry, guys. Just hang in there with us.
Found the 22-year-old's body in the Cumberland River. Many questions.
Come on.
Are
Sorry
still
about this.
unanswered. The cause of the young man's death is still under investigation. And Nick Barris has more details.
Riley Strain's.
Oh, come on. I'm sorry about this, guys. I believe my swamp signal just kicked in.
Body was found in the Cumberland River, and the assumption is that he drowned, but we won't know for certain until the autopsy is completed here at the medical.
Okay, so hopefully it's not going to do this the whole time because I really wanted to share this with you guys. Come on.
We do have some new details tonight in the death of Riley Strain. The story of his appearance captured the attention of people all across this country. This morning, Metro Police released a 911 call. The barge worker who found the 22-year-old's body in the Cumberland River. Many questions are still unanswered. The cause of the young man's death is still under investigation. Nick Barris has more details.
Riley Strain's body was found in the Cumberland River, and the assumption is that he drowned, but we won't know for certain until the autopsy is completed here at the medical examiner's office. The autopsy, of course, was only made possible after a river worker spotted the body in the Cumberland.
Sorry,
2
guys.
weeks after
Probably
Strain
being
disappeared in
choppy.
downtown Nashville.
My company works.
Well, for fair use. Hopefully it won't. We'll talk just a little bit in between.
on the river. I have just found a dead body, I believe.
It's been doing so good, guys. What I'll do is drop this link in chat. That way everybody's able to see the video without it being all choppy.
To be Riley.
This was about 8 miles downriver from where Strain was.
That is super frustrating. I am so sorry about that. It must be fixing to start storming.
Last seen alive.
It's definitely got a person, hair, black shirt.
I apologize another time.
Kind of like a white, muddy looking on the front. His face.
Okay, so I may let that buffer for a minute. And we'll see if that won't come back up because I've done closed all my tabs.
I would let it buffer
So hopefully
and then start
let
it
that
from the
buffer
beginning.
for a second. Right. I love how everyone comes together to discuss their opinions. Yes, we already looked at that comment. Karen Lee says, sunshine, moonshine. It's shining all the time. All right. Colin Kazosa said this feels like home. The stream feels like home. Well, thank you so much. Thank you, guys. I appreciate the support. I really, really do. Arctic Fox says, this whole community would be a better place if creators that were here for the right reasons would all band together to get cases out. That is so true. Very well said. We're stronger together. Haven't seen this yet. I'm trying to get play, Karen. I apologize, guys. Being a great human is what matters. Big thanks to everyone being respectful to the victims and their families in this time of grief. Absolutely. Sharon Marie, welcome in. Henny fan number 1 says, yes, the decomp state will tell a lot about how long he was actually in the water. Exactly. And Freddie Beltrain, hopefully you're just lagging. And my comments have disappeared.
I'm still here.
Let's see.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Take your time, no rush. Thank you, Modine. Let's see. Sure. It's possible. It's very possible. It's Good Friday there today. It's Good Friday here tomorrow. Very, very possible. It's not Friday here, but it is where Far is. Far is in Australia. So it's Friday where she is. See, Nick Barris is great. I've been following his coverage on Riley and Sebastian. Yeah, Nick's awesome. He's been in Nashville news for a long time. Nick is phenomenal. He was found with a
I'll be
large
right
log
back.
on his head holding him down. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's super sad. All good. The tech can't be trusted. Yeah, and you know, when it starts storming down here, it wants to act crazy. So Karen Lee said, I discovered YouTube did an app update. I didn't hear it help was because it was having issues. Oh, okay. Well, that might be what it is then, but I'm on the laptop. So, of course, the body was face down, 99%. Right. If he was in the water for 2 weeks, mud would have washed his shirty. That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking, is that if being in the water, how likely is it that mud would still be on his shirt? Yes, they really should do that.
It was bothering me. Sorry.
Don't believe I heard the 911 call. We can play the 911 call. It's going to be in this article if it'll ever play for us. The expert. Welcome in, guys. If you're not subbed up to the expert, make sure you sub up to him. Let's see, we'll drop his link. That one's a Nightbot because I'm failing miserably on not getting everybody in here. Throw a shoe at the video, it'll start working, right? I got a boot over here. I'm about ready to throw a boot at it. Can anyone get to that barge where Riley was found? Placing a log to hold him under was way farther than the other bodies were found when he went missing at the same time. From what I saw, it was fenced in. Janet Brown, welcome in. So the water pulled a pair of tight blue jeans and cowboy boots, which were hard as heck to get off, and left the boxers and a lightweight shirt on. That's what we're discussing here. Is like, just not like Arctic said, and you know, some of our other wonderful guests here have said that math ain't math, and yes, you can walk into the area where he was found. JLR was there. It's remote. Oh, okay. Okay. Was he across the river or on the side of the business? Just a tad west of Nashville. A lot of folks don't like Nick Barris, but I do. He tells things like most MMS. Yeah, exactly. Sweet faces. Wow. So Nick Barris needs a warm blanket. Right. Dude, I don't know what's going on. We're going to let it buffer for a second. I'm going to run 2 comments, guys, and then I'm going to pull it back up. All right, it's already pulled up. I'm going to start playing it again. Carol, interesting thought. Possibly Raleigh Stream was placed in the river further down stream from Gay Street. That's possible. The Cumberland is filthy. And hopefully that dropped the expert's link, because Nightbot has its moments too. Dandy's on top of it. I've transported bodies pulled from the water, and they are swollen with water. I can see his jeans being torn, but 6'7" frame, not pulled completely off. There you go. Still here watching, just chatting.
I have a cat in my lap.
Kind of dinner time, so you have a cat in your lap. Yes, the actual business was fenced, with the surrounding area had direct access to the river. Okay. He was on the same side? All right, perfect. Thank you so much. I've tried to get wet jeans off before. It's nearly impossible. Almost need a second party to help. Yep, absolutely. Let's see if this is going to play, guys, because I really want to share this with you guys. Let me try refreshing this whole tab. Because I really want to play this video. And it's extremely frustrating that it doesn't want to play. I think this is the first one. We don't want the first one. We want this one.
Hey, yo.
That is really going to irritate me if it won't play, dude. I don't have anything else going. Nope, we'll let it load here. I think everything just decided to go nuts. Okay, is it going to load for us this time?
I'm still here.
Okay,
attention of people all across this country. This morning, Metro Police released the 911 call from the barge worker who found the 22-year-old body in the Cumberland River. Many questions are still unanswered. The cause of the young man's death is still under investigation. Nick Barris has more details.
Riley Strain's body was found in the Cumberland River, and the assumption is that he drowned, but we won't know for certain until the autopsy is completed here at the medical examiner's office. The autopsy, of course, was only made possible after a river worker spotted the body in the Cumberland 2 weeks after Strain disappeared in downtown Nashville.
My company works on the river. I have just found
about 8 miles downriver from where Strain was last seen alive.
It's definitely got a person, hair, black shirt, kind of like a white, muddy looking on the front. It's face down in the water. I actually had to move a log off of the head to confirm it was a body.
So how and why did Strain end up in the river? The preliminary autopsy report confirms what Metro Police Chief John Drake said, that there appears to be no evidence of foul play, and it looks to be a horrible accident. We don't yet know if water was found in Strain's lungs. Some suggest, if none is found, that Strain was dead before he went into the river. But the medical examiner tells me that is not definitive. A person struggling to breathe under.
Come on. with the buffering.
Water can have a throat spasm that shuts off your airway. When that
I'm so sorry, guys. I really wish it would stop doing that. That is so frustrating.
no water goes into your lungs, and it's known as dry drowning. But that is only part of the medical examiner's investigation. They will also be testing Strain's blood. Security video did show Strain stumbling the night he disappeared. Now, Metro Police have viewed videos from bars Strain visited and say there appears to be no evidence he was drugged, but toxicology testing will be done to check his blood alcohol level and to see if there were any other drugs present. So for now, no clear evidence of foul play.
Sorry about this, guys. I said I'll make sure I drop the
Strain's
link.
death, though that could potentially change depending on the results of the final autopsy. Nick Barris, News Channel 5.
Nick, thank you. The final autopsy report with those
Well, that's not a good look.
toxicology
There we
results
go.
is expected sometime coming up next month.
There we go. So next month, Karen. So hopefully it won't take too terribly long. There's another video, but I don't know if it's going to play. Let's see if it'll play. Is it going to be a video or is it a picture? Well, we'll wait and see what's going to happen. We'll leave Riley up there since he's the reason we're here. Okay, where was I? Let's see. Yes, the theory completely different from those other ways farther down. Next shirt heard someone Riley to get in the car. Regardless, Riley was found. Right. Right. I think a lot of people heard somebody else's voice. I take it lightly where I heard that first. Modine. The expert is awesome. Karen Lee, the expert, is part of the LawTube community. He does Taco Tuesday trivia. So if you're a trivia fan, make sure that you hit up the expert. I would like to see the video. It says my message was all messed up. YouTube has been acting up for streamers. Yeah, it must be something going on. It's highly frustrating, especially when you're trying to share a video. It's very, very frustrating. Mo, that should be a header on your match dating profile. It was a recent update. Okay, so hopefully if it'll start playing. It looks like it says photo by Chris Whitefield via AP, which is Associated Press. And I'm going to read that article too. I want to pop through chat real quick. Let's see. Riley was found different than other bodies further down. Held right. Yeah, that's right. Everybody hit that thumbs up. It's free. Leave some touch DNA on there. You get to keep it on your own device. This is more proof that it was not a fall and that there was proof that he fell, never shown any bright. It is about 30 foot, depending or how far off the river from the road. You talking about the business? I'm not sure. Very possible. Very, very possible. Is there a YouTube updates that streamers need to do? I don't know, Karen. It may be. It may be. And no, a month is not too long. So awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Caleb Harris also went missing. His phone was also off. He's a 21-year-old college student as well. Near the water again. Right. What's going on? Yes. Taco Tuesday trivia with the White Rabbit, the expert's beautiful wife. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Messages are getting all jumbled up too. Yeah, it's probably YouTube. They're constantly doing updates to guys. I'm not a fan of the little heart that's on the screen in chat now. So Arctic says, I'm thinking foul play, but I also thought that with Kylie Rodney, and it turned out to be nothing more than a tragic accident. Right. Absolutely. There's so many moving parts. I'm from Pittsburgh, and we had a few young men end up in the river over recent years, also connected to smiley face. Interesting. Interesting. Dakota James was one of the young men. Aw. And M.E. Sotel. Let's see. I'm going to try to run that video again, see if it'll run any better for us. For some reason, I don't feel like it's going to, but I'd really like to hear it all in one solid piece if we could get it through there. It may not play for us. It may, but it may not. And let's see while we're here, which it's probably not going to play for me. But while I'm waiting to see if that's going to load, I'm actually going to pull up Twitter and see if Vaughan has put out the update that he did from today interview on Twitter. Let's see if we can find Daddy News on here and see what he has pulled up. If it pull up, it may not load.
Across this country.
There it goes.
This
Maybe
morning,
it's gonna
Metro
play for
Police
us.
released the 911 call from the barge worker who found the 22-year-old's body in the Cumberland River. Many questions are still unanswered. The cause of the young man's death is still under investigation. Nick Barris has more details.
Riley Strain's body was found in the Cumberland River, and the assumption is that he drowned, but we won't know for certain until the autopsy is completed here at the medical examiner's office. The autopsy, of course, was only made possible after a river worker spotted the body in the Cumberland 2 weeks after Strain disappeared in downtown Nashville.
My company works on the river. I have just found a dead body. I believe it to be Riley.
This was about 8 miles downriver from where Strain was last seen alive.
It's definitely got a person hair, black shirt, kind of like a white, muddy skin on the front. It's face down in the water. I actually had to move a log off of the head to confirm it was a body.
So how and why did Strain end up in the river? The preliminary autopsy report confirms what Metro Police Chief Drake said, that there appears to be no evidence of foul play, and it looks to be a horrible accident. We don't yet know if water was found in Strain's lungs. Some suggest if none is found, that Strain was dead before he went into the river. But the medical examiner tells me that is not definitive. A person struggling to breathe underwater can have a throat spasm that shuts off your airway. When that happens, no water goes into your lungs, and it's known as dry drowning. But that is only part of the medical examiner's investigation. They were all testing Strain blood. Security video did show Strain stumbling the night he disappeared. Now, Metro Police have viewed videos from bars Strain visited and say there appears to be no evidence he was drugged, but toxicology testing will be done to check his blood alcohol level and to see if there were any other drugs present. So for now, no clear evidence of foul play in Strain's death, though that could potentially change depending on the results of the final autopsy. Nick Barris, News Channel 5.
Nick, thank you. The final autopsy report with those toxicology results is expected sometime coming up next month.
There we go. So that was a solid view. And that is how you yeet yourself from StreamYard.
Do it.
I completely just yeeted myself out of StreamYard. You were holding down the fort.
No way.
All right, guys. Yeah, so great minds think alike. So I was actually going to reach out to Joseph Scott Morgan, who I met at CrimeCon, but Brian Eaton has beat me to it. So we're going to watch the clip from News Nation. So I haven't yeeted myself from StreamYard before, so that was new.
Neat.
So this is the most recent update on Riley, guys. I'm glad we hung out and was able to do
There's a
this.
lot of questions about the fact that the family was told that there was not water in Riley's lungs. How do you explain that?
Well, there's really two ways to drown, if you will. One is a wet drowning, one is a dry drowning. And in a wet drowning, the person is panicking, they're taking water in. The other situation is when the person is about to drown, they do panic, but their throat basically freezes up. They have what's called a laryngospasm, and that prevents water and air from getting in. So there may not be that much water in the lungs if that is what happened.
Dr. Dupree, if you have a dry drowning and you are doing an autopsy, are you able to see that that happened? Is there something that happens to the throat or something that you can see as a medical examiner?
Typically, no, there isn't. Drowning is a very specific type of death, though, and it is something that we call a diagnosis of exclusion, which means that we have to exclude every other cause of death, and then it can be a drowning. But just because they were found in water doesn't necessarily mean that it was a drowning.
Joseph, I want to know what you think about this this new revelation that Riley was not wearing the jeans, so no pants, and that the cowboy boots, he had these size 15 cowboy boots that were also not on him when the body was discovered. However, his shirt was still on him and his Apple Watch was still on him. The family is very, very confused and concerned by that. What do you make of it, Joseph?
Now, I think that probably right out of the gate, one of the things that I would address relative to this is I would be thinking about the speed of the current. I started my career in New Orleans, so I've worked a lot of waterborne deaths, Mississippi River, which is not too dissimilar from the Cumberland, and lake water as well. Many times the current will take shoes off, particularly if you've got slip-on cowboy boots, which he is alleged to have had on. I have a harder time, though, Brian, with the clothing on his lower body, his pants. And in that list that you mentioned, they didn't say anything about a belt. I'd want to know if his pants were belted as well, kind of digging into that, socks on his feet, those sorts of things. I'd like to know the status of those. And of course, it's very provocative when you think about this. Anytime, and I think that Michelle probably will agree with me on this, anytime that we have someone that is unclad, particularly in the lower body, it's rather provocative when you begin to think about it. And so we take a harder look at those kinds of cases because any number of things can at least be implied. We have to follow that line of logic to its finality. It's troubling to me, however, that the Nashville police said that, that they're no longer investigating this. And their autopsy, I think that one of the commentators stated that just a second ago, that their autopsy had revealed nothing. They, being the Nashville police, it's not their autopsy. It is the coroner/medical examiner's autopsy. And to this point, we don't have toxicology yet. So I think they've really jumped the gun on this. I have a problem with this. We need to know what's going on in this young man's system.
Yeah, and the fact, again, that he had the shirt on, but the pants. And I asked yesterday the family spokesman if he was wearing a belt. They don't know right now. I would assume he was. But we don't know the answer to that question right now. It's interesting, Dr. Dupree, I was talking to another expert earlier who said that bodies without penetrating wounds, I wrote down what he told me, can bloat and make the clothes tighter. And what the police have said so far about Riley is that there were no signs of foul play, no penetrating wounds, nothing like that. So is it possible that the body would have bloated and made it even more difficult for the clothes to come off?
It is, of course, but that depends on when the clothes came off. As was mentioned earlier, my understanding is that the current in this particular river does flow pretty rapidly, and there's all types of debris and obstacles in that river that can jerk off the clothes, tear the clothes, anything like that. So the body is not going to bloat for probably 2 to 3 days. He was in there for around 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And so I also want to make a point that we have something in law enforcement called the totality of circumstances. We can't just look at one thing. We need to look at everything surrounding this case. And I do agree. I think maybe we're a little premature in this right now. There's more to be investigated.
Yeah, I think, Dr. Dupree, that's why the family feels frustrated. They haven't come out and said, look, we don't think it's foul play. We think something really bad happened. I think they just feel like the police just sort of said, like, okay, closed case. And again, they told us today they're not investigating anymore. And something's just not adding up to the family. So it seems like you agree, Dr. Dupree, that more should be done.
I think further investigation is warranted, yes.
The family
Brian,
did.
if I could,
Sure.
yeah,
Go,
if I
go
could
ahead,
interject
Joseph. Yeah.
very quickly, yeah. I think that one of the key things here, since we're considering the missing clothing, there was allegedly a large homeless population near the area where they believe he may have gone into the water. I want to know the status of those clothes. I want to know, did they question everybody relative to that clothing? How thorough of an examination did they do? Also, one other thing here, we're talking about this river and where his body wound up. I think that it's very important. I hope that the police went and spoke to the people with the Army Corps of Engineers to get an idea as to when dam releases took place, because that increases the speed of the flow of the river. And you can kind of backtrack and get an idea as to how much water was coming down this river at that particular time, at what speed. And that's going to impact a lot of things. As Michelle had mentioned, there's a lot of debris in this river, and the rivers are not like lakes. The topography underneath the water, it always changes. And so that's a huge dynamic here as well. This body could very well have hung up somewhere for a protracted period of time and then turned loose. I've had that happen where it'll pause and then the current will catch the body and it'll float. So there's a lot to consider here. That's why it's very important not to say anything prematurely.
Yeah, it's a good point. Dr. Dupree, one thing we've heard, and the family, by the way, has had their own second private autopsy in Tennessee, which I'm curious what you think about that. But I'm also curious, Dr. Dupree, what I've been told is that they have to take some kind of sample from the eye, and that's very important for toxicology right now, because that's one of the big questions. You know, was he on some kind of drugs? Was he possibly drugged? And that's what got him into this situation. Can you explain that a little bit more?
Yes, there's a fluid inside the eye called vitreous, and this is an excellent place to take toxicology because it's very well protected. You know, the body has been in there for a while, it's going to begin to decay, but the vitreous is protected, and this can tell us a good bit about his ante-mortem status as far as any kind of toxicology goes.
And what about there being a second autopsy now? Do you think that was the right move by the family?
Yes, I do. If they don't have the answers, I always suggest a second opinion. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. And look, Joseph, I mean, some people are saying, you know, why are we beating this drum? You know, this was clearly an accident, but there are obviously questions here. And there's people thinking, gosh, Nashville's this big tourist city. They didn't like all this attention. They closed. And again, the family isn't saying that we believe there's foul play. They're just saying, come on, like, let's do a thorough investigation here. There were apparently people that they wanted to go out and talk to. You mentioned the homeless population, and we're not even sure if they did those interviews. So it sounds like perhaps there is a little more that they could do, Joseph.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, in that particular zone or beat, that area that the police would have been working, they're going to have assets down in that area, people that they commonly speak with. Also, any street crimes units that work that area that kind of roll around in plain unmarked vehicles with police officers that are in street clothes, for instance. They work these areas very, very, very methodically. They will have sources out there. And this kid's going to stand out more than likely. And plus, we can see, just judging by the CCTV, Brian, his gait is greatly compromised. And yeah, maybe it was an accident, but also I think that most of us can agree that if you're in a compromised state relative to what's going on from a toxicological standpoint, you're easily taken advantage of. You know, and we weren't there. These people that keep saying this is obviously an accident, they weren't there. So you have to overturn every possible stone. Family deserves that.
Yeah, I think any parent could understand that they just want a thorough investigation to know exactly what happened. Hopefully we'll get the answers with this second autopsy.
Yeah.
Dr. Michelle Dupree and Joseph Morgan, thank you both for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brian.
So there you guys have it. There we have it. Straight from the experts. So we're a pretty good team over here. It's a great community. You still there with us, Momster's son?
I am.
All right. So Sharon Marie says, I just don't believe that was a dry drowning. I think the coroner would be able to determine a laryngeal spasm. Nothing has really been adding up from the beginning. Yep, I agree. Henny number one fan says the East Coast providing to be deadly for young men. Yeah. Lucinda says she's back. Went to say goodnight to your granddaughter. Aw, grandbabies. Yeah, we love Dandy. She's awesome at getting on those links. Are we sure about what we were told in the findings? We cannot believe everything we were told. I'm sorry, but this world is honest in the past. Right. Janet Brown says, is anyone reporting on Caleb Harris and Corpus Christi? It's a horrible mystery. I know some people are, and I believe Arctic put out a video. So definitely check out Arctic's channel. These are missing men or college students. Right.
Go make that brownie.
Originally PA, now New Jersey. Okay, so right there on the East Coast. Such a sad story. Definitely a sad story. Riley's family needs to get complete digital footprints from all of his app providers. I agree. And my heart aches for Riley and his family, but the kind heroes like here makes it shown decent people still exist. Oh, thank you, Carol Vargas. I appreciate that. Everybody saying hello. The mob crew is reported on Caleb. Chris is awesome. If you guys aren't subbed up to Chris, definitely sub up to Chris. Dandy, if you want to drop his link. And now we wait for an autopsy report. Exactly. And I want to see both of them.
I guess
I was
I'm
hurt
being
Riley's.
told to make brownies.
Okie doke. I was following Riley, Sebastian, and Caleb, but honestly, now there's so many missing. My heart hurts. There's so many missing, thousands of missing people. It would blow your mind. Toxicology will be telling, hopefully. Yeah, I kicked myself off stream.
That's okay.
Me. So tell me what you think about the cowboy boots off. How does that happen? Cowboy boots are extremely hard to get off. Maybe taken off before he went in the water. Yeah, it's very sus to me as well, and that's where I'm leaning to. And Dandy was already on top of the mob cruise link. I don't agree with it either. We don't know. Yeah.
Hi. I'm going to go make brownies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming up. Go make brownies.
Sorry. I've been quiet for this little last bit because I've just been listening to everything going on.
You're cool. You're good. We're just gonna hang out here for a few more. I just want to finish up chat and make sure that I do my closings and stuff and let everybody know that I appreciate them being here. But thank you for coming up and brainstorming with us.
That's not a problem. I was going to ask if you wanted to do a poll to see what game your community, if you wanted to do one of the game streams, because I know we were talking about that the other night, doing like a game stream.
All right, so polls on YouTube. I haven't done one in a really long time, so I will I'll put a poll out, but we'll do an OG. Whoa, there went my chair again. Boy, tonight has just been batting a 10 between my signal yeeting myself off panel. My chair just tried to yeet me.
Write down like a list of games they want to watch you play. We can get them set up like old school retro Super Nintendo.
All right.
Genesis,
so if you guys would be interested in games, like just kind of a decompression live, maybe watch some video game Area 51. Some Super Mario Brothers, drop a 1 in chat. If you're I'm not really a fan of the games, hit me with a 2, please.
Or no, I mean like if they wanted to drop like a list of the different games, like watch you play.
Well, yeah, we can do that too. All right, have a feeling he passed before he went in the river. Very possible.
I love you.
Love you too. Thank you for coming up, Buck. King Scarlet News. Hello, welcome in, love. Welcome in, welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. He's going to go make brownies. Unlike the current would have taken his boots off, tight jeans, left the shirt. I agree. And Carson C, we don't know at this point. We're still waiting on the autopsy. They are telling us that he took his boots, pants, to underwear, dry drowning. Right. Heard pants, underwear, and boots. Okay. Case closed. Modine, that infuriates me. If it was an SA situation, would his parents release that, though? I don't believe the current took the boots and pants off. I think we're all on the same page with that. I don't think the current did it either. It's possible, but I'm leaning towards nah. I don't think so. Right. Anything's possible. Very, very possible. Let's see, bloating would not allow his pants to be removed. Right. And we just heard that from the experts, guys. We've all been in here brainstorming. I was kind of waiting for Brian to upload that because I knew before I got off work that he was doing that interview, and he had beat me to it, you guys. I actually met Joe at CrimeCon, and I have his email and stuff. He gave me his email and told me if I ever needed him to come on panel to hit him up. So I was actually going to do that. I may still do that if you guys are interested. That way he could feel like he can speak a little bit more openly on a podcast than mainstream. I would love to have him on panel and pick his brain on what he thinks. Joseph Scott Morgan is phenomenal. We interact a lot on Twitter, and he's a great person. My gut says there's more to this case. I agree. If the debris filled the water, tore his clothes off completely, would he have wound on his body? Exactly. Exactly. There is more to this story. Sweet Butterfly, welcome in. I think the frat brother Hayes Riley putting something in his drink. That's possible. It's very possible. You can't tell with the young kids. Any berry post. Ava Hawkshaw. Hey, honey, I ain't seen you in a long time. Long time no see. The landward kicked off that belongs to the Army Corps of Engineers. Talking Sebastian? Or did he get kicked off in Nashville? Janet Brown. Yes, exactly. It could be maybe if the jeans were torn off by rubbing debris in the water, but not the shirt. I'm curious to know the condition the shirt was in. But the boots, right. Big question marks. Right. Dandy, exactly. Drowning victims, I won't discuss their bodies look like when they're pulled out, but they are swollen. A lot of fish would have done damage, but clothing should have remained. Right. And there's catfish in that river too, just putting it out there. I have a problem with his pants and his boots being off. Let's see, get your booty back to work, Modine. I'm sorry, guys. Let's see. Janet Brown, the same thing happens when toads get trapped in the water. Their bodies swell underwater. Jacqueline Evelyn, welcome in. I'm so glad the family is getting a second opinion. Me too. And those things are not expensive. And private autopsy is not cheap. Not cheap. Choppery, good night, love. Thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate you. Hard to believe the police just closed the case. Yeah, it's a little frustrating. I'm really frustrated right now. Really frustrated with Metro. Like, chew through a 16-penny nail. But again, check out my playlist. What the hell's going on in Tennessee? You guys get an insight on some families that I've personally worked with out of Tennessee. We'll get more information on Raleigh sometime next week. Right. Good night, Chopper. It's very possible. Very, very possible. Had a gut feeling since the beginning. Right. I think we all did, honey. I believe they said the water was 7 feet higher that day. It was. And it was raining. I think it's very, very possible. Past undress being placed in the water. Facts. King Scarlet News. They need to investigate more, find out what's happened, in my opinion. I agree. I do too. Close case, my hind end. Danny, thank you for all your good night. Good night, love. If you're still in here. Either was targeted and robbed. Very possible. Very, very possible. Good night, honey. Thank you for coming in. You're in PA. A lot going on up there, too. Too many questions to be entered. Could it be a cover-up? Lots of cover-ups going on now these days. It's very possible, Sharon Marie. Very possible. Andy C. 2828. I find it suspicious. At the same night, Riley disappeared. Another tourist in Nashville got roofied, and $30,000 was stolen from his bank account. And we spoke about that the other night, about the guy that was stealing phones and was cash apping people's money to himself. Sure, would have been at least halfway ripped off. Exactly. So we got a 1, a 2, a 2, a 1, and a 2. So we're kind of mixed emotions about the gaming. I don't do games. Real life enough is a game for me to navigate through. Any fan number 1, this case makes you so angry. I hate injustice and cover up. Same. Carl, welcome in. Boy looked gullible to me. I'm thinking something went. It's very possible. Kelly Joloffe. Right. Absolutely. Sorry about the dogs, guys. Frat Brothers also. Yeah, I agree. Everybody that had contact with him should have been questioned thoroughly. So if the current took the boots and the pants off, why not the shirt? Wouldn't have been easier to come off. Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. Because cowboy boots don't come off easy. You just wear cowboy boots, need help pulling them and take them off. Right. I wonder if he bumped into a group of bullies who maybe thought he was right, not straight or something, and they went after him. It's very possible. And he wasn't from there. He's a young man, was intoxicated. We're all gullible at that age. Absolutely. Ava said, yeah, I'm sorry. Multitasking. You're fine, honey. You're fine. Diana Rupert, welcome in. Frat Brothers could have helped him get a little extra lit because he was more of a good boy. That could have contributed into what happened. Maybe a pre-graduation frat boy prank type. That, right. Very possible. Yeah, my wieners. I know. They were going crazy. My wieners were losing their mind. You see this one. She's up here saying, I'm sorry, Mom. I was loud. Let me get on stream because I'm a camera hog. Oh, thank you for the hug. Over $5,000 for Barbara Hall to get a second autopsy. Right. Yeah, absolutely. And Erin Shane Key is one of my cases that I helped with. Lisa Key is a dear, dear friend of mine, and her son was murdered in the ME. Put it down as a self-harming. And like I said, check out my video, my What the Hell's Going On in Tennessee playlist, guys. Does anyone know that Riley's family has a GoFundMe? Yes, they do have a GoFundMe. It's in the description on the last live that we did on Riley. Who forgot to hit that like button? Dandy's on y'all. Somebody forgot to leave their touch DNA on that there like button. But guys, I appreciate everybody for being here. We've been going almost 3 hours. So thank you so much. And I love my community. Thank you for all my new people coming in. Guys, make sure you hit that thumbs up. Leave a comment. Yeah, she's a sweet Pete. That is a T-Rex. Let me tell you what. When you get a Dotson, they'd say, oh, it's going to be a sweet baby. And she's going to be a darling baby. And you're just going to love her to death. She is evil incarnate. That's why the cute face, because she knows all stuffed animals immediately get the squeakers ripped out of them. It's epic. And I buy pit bull toys, like 80-pound proof dog toys, and she still rips the squeakers out. But thank you. Family friend said they found him, called the police, but the police said there was no longer a person of interest. Yeah, that they had somebody else in mind. And a priest in Kentucky is praying for Riley's funeral too. Aw, that's awesome. That's awesome. Being from Kentucky, you know, sometimes it makes my heart smile to see all the good people. Arctic, you have a good night too, honey, and I'm going to reply to you. Let me jump off here and do my doolins that I need to do, and I'm going to reply to you. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. I know you got a lot going on too, so thank you for everybody. Thank you for putting up with my swamp signal tonight. Thank you for the little technical difficulties we had with yeeting me off panel, and then MomsterMini got the munchies and decided he was going to cook eggs for everybody. So thank you guys for tolerating us. I appreciate you all. And replay crew, if you're hearing the sound of my voice, thank you. I love you and appreciate you too. Guys, remember that if you see something, say something. It takes a village to raise a child. Engage with empathy. Never give up. Do no harm. And always know, if you have a loved one out there, reach out to them. Hug your babies. Hug your puppies. Hug your loved ones. If you got a kid in your family you haven't seen, reach out. Much love, guys. As always, I thank you all for being here. You're all amazing. Love my community. Love my replay crew. Love my mods. Big shout out to all my mods. I'm going to play my missing end video because we never want to forget. And we're going to be a voice for Riley. And we're not going to let him be forgotten either. This is not going to get brushed under the rug if we can keep anything from it. So, love you guys.